Sweet. Awesome. What's up, everybody? Good evening and welcome to another episode of Tattoo Collecting 101 live from Red Tree Gallery. So we are beaming out live from all over the country. So if you're watching, drop a comment in the chat, letting us know where you're watching from. Throughout the show, we'll keep an eye on the comments. So let us know if you have anything on your mind. Beyond live shows like this, you guys can watch all the Reinventing Network shows, art jams, drawing groups, interviews, panels, and more on our YouTube channel, as well as our new Roku channel. If you haven't checked us out on our Roku yet, you can find it by searching for Reinventing the Tattoo on your Roku device for 24/7 streaming content. This is really nice to put on in the background for yourself or your clients while you're tattooing as well. Beyond tonight's show, we have several other weekly shows and drawing groups happening almost every day. If you're watching, you're welcome to tune in or jump on the Zoom call with us. The link to the Zooms are usually very easy to find. I'll go over the show times soon, but if you go to reinventingthetattoo.com and scroll down to our calendar, all of the Zoom links are right there for each show. If you guys are just here to watch, our YouTube channel is set up also for reminders about all of these upcoming events. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern is Skill Building Sundays, led by Jason and Leeser. Monday mornings start early at 9 a.m. with Drawing for Tattooers, led by James Wisdom. Right after that, join myself, Gabe Ripley of Tattoo Now, and Jake Meeks of the Fireside Tattoo Network to talk about what's going on in the world of tattooing on the Tattoo Weekly. Later that night at 5 is Robbie Rapol's Let's Talk About Feelings, and we close Monday evenings at 9 with a Reinventing Evolution class led by Guy Aitchison. Right now, our second evolution trimester is underway. You guys can follow the link in the description too for all of the information about Guy's various learning opportunities. Tuesday mornings is Tuesday Feelings with Ricardo Sturdivant at 10. Wednesdays is the Tattoo Now show and our Reinventing Business course every other Wednesday. As you guys know, right here, Thursdays at 6 is Tattoo Collecting 101. Beyond some of these shows that we do virtual, we'll be at a few upcoming spots. Next weekend, we'll be at Tony Urbanek's Darker City Tattoo Invitational and Durb Morrison's Hell City in Phoenix at the end of August. Before we kick off, we always like to say thank you to our sponsors for helping us get all of this content to you guys for free. We've got worldtattooevents.com with the largest and most comprehensive resource for tattoo events. Thanks to Raw Pigments, an ink company that's tapping into the source with acrylic-free inks that have been impressing artists around the world. Guys, if you are watching, you can use the code Reinventing the Tattoo on Raw's website to get 10% off your order. Also, Tattoo Now, thanks Gabe, technology for tattooers, and also some of our affiliates, Fireside Tattoo, The Apprenticeship Diaries, and EcoFriendlyTattooSupplies.com. In closing, thank you, Guy Aitchison, as well, the founder and inspiration behind all of this. He's got his Biomech Encyclopedia, DVDs, machines, paintings, and more at GuyAitchison.com. Now I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody in. We have a pretty cool episode lined up. Ben is in the chair, and we get to hear from him soon. How's it going, everybody?
Hello.
Once we get your audio back on, Todd, how's it going? Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Hello, hello.
There.
There you are,
What's
Ben.
up, guys? You ready, Ben?
Yep, you guys are good to go. Have a great show. Looks like fun.
I don't know if ready's the right word.
Ready as can be.
I mean, it's just
Ready.
a tattoo.
I guess you'll ever
Just
be.
a tattoo.
I ate lunch. I had food when I got here.
Hey, that's better than most people.
I'm
So
relaxed,
that's good.
kind of. I mean, there's so not much more to focus on. Maybe get a buzz.
Talk to us about how you've been cheating. What's that taped to your belly, Ben?
Cheating.
Yeah, cheating.
I've earned it. I'm alive. That's Zenza. Let me. Just use a little bit though. We'll see how it works. It's got a little sample pack of it, or the small pack of it. But yep, put it on probably 45 minutes ago. We'll see how it works.
Cheater.
Yep, all the way, baby. I think once you hit about 60-75% of your body tattoos, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
That's fair.
Yeah, so
I totally agree.
thanks.
Totally agree.
I mean, I don't use it for every tattoo, but we're doing ribs and sweet meat.
All the sweetest meat.
Just a little bit. So I mean, cameras and all. I don't want to wince at you all night. Everybody remember Danny? He's back. What's up? He's here to finish this what? At least 5-year-old tattoo.
6-year-old tattoo.
Yeah. Half a deck. Half a deck?
How many other tattoos do you have that have been unfinished that long, Ben?
None.
This is the only one?
Only.
How come?
My God,
I mean,
the Youngstown.
How come
had a
it's taking
baby,
so long?
and then got divorced. Like all kinds of shit went down.
I can't believe you're blaming
Oh,
this
no,
on
no,
Lily.
no, no.
No, I'm just saying,
It's all
like,
the baby's fault.
like he went and opened up a Mecca. He did his own gig. I don't travel. I don't know how else to say this. It was when it's a homie, like Denny's life friend. I don't put as much emphasis on we got to do this now. When it's time, it's time. We'll be together. We'll see each other. It'll work out. We'll film it. We'll not. What's whatever. If we would have finished this 3 years ago, this episode would suck. We'd just be standing here looking at each other.
I mean,
I don't think
that'd
there
be
would be an
fun.
episode.
That'd still be fun.
There wouldn't even be a podcast, bro.
No.
The start of this tattoo is what made this all possible. I'm glad you understand now.
This is the tattoo that started it
You're
all.
the catalyst of the
I'm
show.
glad you understand. Finally, somebody gets it. Oh, yeah. This one's been a while coming. I'm
going to change the camera angle.
I don't know
so you
if
guys can
excited
creep
is
on
the
Denny.
right word. It's all just a tattoo. It'll all work out. There's so much going on. So many things and people moving, and that's a lot.
But we got it working.
Kind of. So my home doesn't look anything like this. I did do something pretty cool. I took every piece of artwork that I owned and stuck it all up in my living room. So I've got like one officially decorated room in my house. It's amazing. There's like
But
one
the rest
place.
of it is bare.
The bear is but I got one room that looks really cool. Really cool.
Hey, you know what? It's a start.
It is a start. I've only lived there for 7 years. It's fine. It's fine.
You should see my office. I've got nothing, and then that Guy Atchison print, and then 2 of my paintings next to it.
Baller status go.
Yeah.
So what's the game plan, guys? Because like,
Well, we're just looking at you, Ben.
I know this.
We're just looking at you.
Because there's a lot of people looking at me like I'm supposed to know what's going on.
I mean, if you're ready, you can just
This is all
awkwardly
about
get
you today,
comfortable.
baby.
ready is not the thing.
This is all you.
This is Ben's day.
I mean,
Happy Wednesday.
I mean, you guys want to smoke some weed first?
I mean, are you ready? We can.
Things downstairs are good.
Hey, Kyle, do you need to go preset for the travel?
The
Or
what?
is it ready up and running?
No, I just have to turn it on. It's just, yeah.
So if you went ahead of us by like a minute
So like if you just
and maybe just like did that, maybe we could, yeah.
So what all
The amount
of
of
you guys
months.
got ready to go? So you're literally ready to tattoo.
Let's talk about
So-
shit. Machine, power supply, my ink, my needles, cups of water. Tech Talk with Denny.
Basic wrap, and yeah, we're ready to go. I'm all set up with a basic setup, nothing crazy. We're going to be doing some traditional roses or near traditional roses, so there's going to be a couple colors. Pretty simple.
He asked me earlier today, he was like, what colors do you want? I was like, I don't make those decisions, dude. That is an artist decision.
The classics.
And I'm happy with whatever you want to do because I can't do it. So
Red and yellow, baby.
you could have told me teal and aqua, and I would have been like, fuck yes. I mean, I kind of do want a teal and aqua rose, though, bro. Can we make that happen?
I brought red and yellow.
No, not now. Like in addition
Right
to
second.
these roses, I would like to a teal and aqua. I'm not the 5 seconds before setup fucking changing shit. Yeah, bro. Yeah. No, that's not what I said. No, this is what you're getting. I believe you said rose, and I make roses, and you said,
Yeah, you want rose.
I remember being there, and like the goal was to rile people up.
For a while, yeah.
For a while.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we got yelled at for riling people up.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Whitehall.
Sorry, Whitehall. Didn't mean to shit on your bricks. We're getting feedback through that.
Oh, too much. Here we go.
It's
There
all
it goes.
right. It's all right. Kyle, get us looped through downstairs, or should we? Let's go get one ripped because I haven't done any smoking since after work, and that is detrimental to my health. Can I walk with this?
A
No.
day. I went
What's
5 hours today without smoking weed, and when I realized I hadn't smoked any in a while, I went, "What the fuck's up?"
That's a sad way to live. I don't like doing that, Todd.
We're gonna meet you down there in about 5 seconds.
So we're gonna take the long journey while Kyle entertains you guys. BRB.
What's up, Kyle?
How are you, Todd? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
All
Yeah,
right.
you're a little distance, but yeah, I hear you good.
I think that's just me talking quiet.
You're going next weekend?
Up to Akron? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll see
I'll
you
be
there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's looking like a great show. I've seen a lot of good artists that are going to be there.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
Are you doing any competitions?
done with competition. No, literally, I am done. I won a lot, and I don't, my artists have gotten, their accolades. So,
Right. I get what you mean. And here comes Ben right now. There he is. Yeah.
praying hand and all. Look at that.
I think it's always got to happen good.
Almost got lost.
You always got the best setup because you're just on your couch. There's a level of indie that I have. But I'm willing to discuss with you if you want. But I would much prefer couch.
I'm getting a mic closer to him. I can't hear Ben at all.
So I'm envious that you have a couch and you're at home and you're air conditioned. Nice.
Yes.
Oh, just nod at me. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it's a cool 72 in here right now.
Yeah, it's a balmy 98 with about 4,000% humidity in this room right now.
It's 90 here right now outside.
Well, it's probably 90 outside, but the warehouse conducts its own.
Oh yeah, I get it. I know.
Like Ben's really hot too. I'm fat. Let's clarify those things. Check. Should be good. I just drank too much. What's new in Todd's world, man?
Not much. Waiting for next weekend.
Yeah, I'm pumped on next weekend, man. It's gonna be a good time. Jenny's gonna come out and join us too.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna come hang out. Oh yeah. We got a whole
Party
crew
time.
going. Nice. Like most of the podcast is going. A bunch is Red Tree going as a studio?
I don't think so.
I don't know about everyone
Nice.
else. I don't think they might come up their day, but I don't change.
We got people meeting us there. It's gonna be good.
No.
I think Joe's coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
Speak into the mics. Fawn yelled at me. Check. Heard.
Word.
So then you excited to get this done finally? You know what, man? It's always kind of been like I always have a reason to talk to Denny. So now we got to start another one. So I always have that my homeboy, we're going to do this one of these days. You're the only one I've left open. I mean, I feel privileged, dude. It's kind of my fault, to be honest. I feel special. I mean, when it's a homie, I'm not too pressed about it. I don't feel the need to be like, we gotta get this done now because you're gonna go to my kid's graduation. Right. So I'm not stressed about it. When it's life friends, it's kind of takes the urgency out of it for me. Right, we'll get it done. Mr. Kyle, while you're roaming, would you please grab an ashtray and lighter? Todd, you got anything to finish right now?
Do I got anything to finish? Yeah, Tony Mencia's got to finish my knee.
Yeah.
That's 4 years in the making now.
Oh, geez. Is that the only one you got that's unfinished?
Yeah, because my neck, that was the other one that's finished now. So, yeah, that's the only one.
I got a bunch of unfinished tattoos. Most of them are for myself. Most of them are for yourself. Yeah. I started that instead. Fuck it. Yeah. My wise and dope. We can just put our head together so neither of us have to sleep in the mud.
I don't know if technical bugs work out. The rest of the show should be
Nice.
easy going.
Well, we did decide at the last one, so 2 different areas, and it shit's super complicated.
And we do have some new equipment that we're using that we've never used before and had to like cobble adapters together that have never been cobbled.
And
we're here.
audio video stuff is always complicated, like always complicated. Takes a little.
It's convoluted how complicated it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Even the new stuff that's like streamlined is still kind of complicated to use. So props to you guys.
Go Bluetooth. Well, then when you go Bluetooth, you have all these different Bluetooth signals and all of these interferences and all of these others.
True that. Give me 1, 2. 1, 2. Check 1, 2. The boy bought the basketball. There we go. Yeah, just needs a little gain, a little volume. Final project you working on this week? Nice.
So here's what happened. So they were both awesome finds. They're both people that I really like. So really
Turn Fawn's mic up.
neither one of them had very long projects. The projects that are gonna take like all day like usual. So it worked out. I ended up working on both of them at the appointment. Everything's fine. But here's what happened. So I got this family and I work on many of them. I know the family very well. And their last name is Williams. So we'll call them the Williamses. And I have 2 sisters, a brother, his wife, and the mom all on my schedule at the same time.
Yes.
So what had happened was, and it took me a minute to figure out like how I made this mistake. It's not often that I make scheduling errors, but when I do, I like figuring out like what happened and what I did wrong.
Of course.
Well, one sister's name is Olivia, the other sister's name is Liz. And at the end of Liz's appointment, we're talking about the next day. And what I did is I moved the notes in my schedule from Olivia's appointment forward instead of moving Liz's date. And so that led to I was double booked, but it's okay. I did 2 like dainty little tattoos on Olivia that turned out beautiful, just little floral pieces. And then on Jen, we had Jen Minot on after the Terrible Tampa show.
The TT?
Yeah, that show.
The TT show?
The Terrible Incubate show. So we finished a piece on Jen and I did 2 pieces on Olivia. So it actually ended up being a super productive day, super low stress because they were both like good favorite clients. So it was not a big deal at all. I love it like when I make a mistake, but it's not a big deal.
Right.
Yesterday was one of those days.
Cool clientele, man. Great.
It's nice about building that clientele is keeping the people around you that you want to cultivate the environment and how you're treated and how people treat you. So when you go through that vetting process, you're essentially just qualifying homies.
Right.
You're like, are you gonna be cool enough to deal with my bullshit? Yeah. Cool. That's fine, dude.
Are you gonna flake out soon and be a pain in the ass? No? Okay, great.
Flexible is key, people. Flexible is key. Life sucks. We all fuck it up.
That's true.
Thank you.
Yesterday wasn't a big deal.
I was talking to Mr. Richard Cook, who was going to join us this evening, but fell in some other obligations. and was talking to him about how it's not a big deal. Like what we do here is zero stress. Like if it's a stress, we're not doing it right. The goal is to hang out, enjoy some community time, and talk about fucking tattoos. And if you're already stressed out to do that, that's not where we want to be. I was like, we're actually quite apt to just winging whole fucking shows because we plan to do one abroad and broadcast from a new location for the first time, and the show was shit. Our options were, so J-Doggy, what do you want to talk about? Let's fill some airtime.
Well,
Very scared. Very scared. But first matters.
Teamwork.
It doesn't hurt that we're all surrounded by this all the time. I'm on the end of the point. So there's enough programs. I'm ready back.
I'm going to grab a handful of candies for the last life.
What kind of candy?
Just 25 milliliter candies. They're just enough to keep the ball rolling. Sure.
Keep the party going.
Yeah, that happens too sometimes.
I mean, they're one and the same. It's fine.
Today was one of those days at work where it was like I had one thing to do, and I started it as soon as I walked in the door, and I didn't finish it until a half hour after I was supposed to. Oh, dang, yeah. It was just one of those like, you ask me to do one more thing, I won't. Jesus. It was just my whole day got kicked back. No one likes that. It went from being like super chill and simple. Go.
What is it, super chill and simple now?
No, this is like,
Yeah, right now. Ask for 20 minutes and we'll see how it is.
There you go. That's better.
We don't know. I can tell, but I think you're going to get through this.
You'll do great.
I was going to say, I have the exact number sports with me.
Yeah.
Generally, like, I made it through the other side. This one will be fine.
So yeah, all the areas around this.
Yeah, the worst parts. I do feel rather naked sitting here without a shirt on.
Shirts and skins.
Take our shirt off too.
Yeah, but I'll do it. That's better or worse. You do some competitions with me this coming event in Acaron.
You know, we don't even talk about
Wait, that's why I'm bringing it
I
up.
think definitely.
I think definitely. That went from a conversation to your fucking.
Why would you even ask? Of course it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm flaky, so I asked.
So you're the bad client.
I mean, it's been 5 years since we've seen you, so.
Right. You know, he went.
Yeah, I'll definitely get you competitions. Definitely all. I haven't even looked ahead to see what the categories are.
That was my next question.
All around competition for sure.
Is the all-around competition even round spelling? Because the all, I will win that shit. All around. The all around. The all round category. It's just all round.
Whoever's the roundest is the one that wins.
I'm in shape. It's just the shape of a fucking pear. It's okay.
It's shape.
You are in shape.
Qualifies.
Tattoo time, baby.
Come on, Kyle.
I'm
Come on, Kyle.
Don't yell at me. Yell at me.
Together.
I can't partner on the website.
Oh, now we gotta take it up with those.
Oh, come on, Tiny. I'm just kidding. I've seen it on the website 52 times.
No, here.
There it is. Kyle now.
Oh, Kyle, do you have a microphone? Tell us.
The contest for Friday. I question sometimes. So there's best traditional, best biomech, best sports themed, best Ohio themed, best small black and gray, and best small color. That's all for Friday.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
Ohio. You gotta.
Nice.
Neither do I.
That's my commitment.
That's
to
one.
I will blast the fuck over this so fast.
Oh, here you go. Yeah. And so for Saturday, you can enter that in worst tattoo. Or if you want to, you could try for best large black and gray, best large color, best lettering, or best portrait realism.
Or worst tattoo.
Worst tattoo would be a good one.
That would definitely not be my worst tattoo. This is actually very crispy clean.
So what you do is you enter your real worst one, and then you win Best Ohio and Best Worst, and say it was one of the same.
It depends on the age restrictions. I'm allowed to show my worst.
Kyle doesn't know what we're talking about. You're gonna
Oh, he did bang as fuck, and I'm just gonna smack him with it one day.
Oh no.
I don't like the sound of that. I don't know where it is. It's not family friendly, and you're gonna smack me in the face with it.
Guys, never once did I bring your friends into this, Kyle. Never once. Never. So I once had an appendage in my body tattoo stretched over a Corona bottle.
I've never seen this. Honestly, I don't care to.
Were you on that show? No. Apparently, Jamie Hickey has video. Jamie, prove it, bro. we need proof. But yeah, it was, you know, I definitely have a very bad tattoo that will never get touched up and never get removed. I will never get that drunk. I wish I could blame it on being smashed. I really could. I had been drinking. What were you drinking? Redhead sluts in a pint glass. Boy, redhead sluts in a pint glass. Good time.
Did it heal okay?
Yeah. It feels great. It's nice, clean and dry environment. It's fantastic. What goes through somebody's mind when they're getting their testicles tattooed? How did I end up here? You ever see the show?
I know someone I could ask. I do know someone I could ask about that.
Who could you ask about that?
Jesse Mule.
What's that?
He's got one of those Indian things from from the Hindu religion. He's got a blue elephant, and he's got blue balls.
Oh wow! Nope. He's talking about a friend of his that has the Indian elephant and has blue, complete blue testicles. And the 48 seconds that was the tattoo that I got was way too long. Like, especially for like.
He's got 3 coats on his sack.
3 coats? 3 coats?
Yep.
Jeez, man. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I did that too, man. I cringed as soon as I heard that.
I bet that color really pops.
It's when it's one of those pictures that once you've seen it, you can't forget it.
Yeah. That's exactly like that.
It is, man. Seriously.
He probably goes by Papa Smurf. Yeah. In another life.
But it's done really well, man. But it's done really well, man. I mean, seriously. Whoever he had do it did a fabulous job, but man, there's just no way I could do that. No way.
No.
I mean, could you imagine a girl, she knows you're pretty heavily tattooed and she's Indian, and you decide to go out, and then, it comes time to that thing and you don't mention it at all. And he lets it all out and she just looks at it.
What's the appropriate way to react to that?
I'd have to crack a joke. That's the first thing I would do. Just out of my awkwardness, I would have to crack a joke when I seen it. That's just how I have to do it. That's something there,
yeah, and that's a tattoo, all right. That is by definition, it is a tattoo.
It's one of them. People want to show you, when they see somebody have a tattoo, they want to show you the tattoo. And 9 times out of 10, that tattoo is trash. That person is so proud of it. And it doesn't matter, especially like the family reunion or like the class reunion or something like that. Oh, bro, you got the fuck up. Check out this one horrible ass tattoo I got in Barbados. You're like, yeah, you love it. But to be fair, if I had to base my only one tattoo off my first tattoo, I would be that dude too, with the terrible tattoo, because my first tattoo was fucking awful.
What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo is a skull and a dagger on the back of my calf that I thought was really cool. It's a cool design. It wasn't finished. The artist fell asleep while tattooing me, so it never really, yeah, literally.
Only a certain degree of artists actually fall asleep while tattooing.
Yeah.
There's like a certain specific niche of artists. They run off a little bit.
Yeah, he was definitely on the sauce or something. But he was gone, and he started tattooing himself like with my needle in his chest. Yeah, and this was my first tattoo. I was 15, so.
Wow.
Yeah,
And that was the magical moment where you fell in love with tattooing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm convinced this is it. So. My first tattoo was a kanji, like one kanji. Yeah. I still rock it. You know, I added 2 things around it, blended it in, but it's still there.
Blended it in.
It is. Yeah. Where's my kanji from? It's on my leg. My first kanji I got was cloud.
Cloud. Why cloud? Any reason?
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
$50, and that's how much the tattoo.
But cloud is literally the word you chose. That's the one. Of all the things to define you as a person, that was the one word that you wanted to put in a universal language.
Yeah.
I was like,
Cloud. Why? I like to blow clouds.
oh, but only one.
Only a single cloud.
But yeah, I mean, 18 was weird forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my first tattoo at 18, but it's not bad per se. Sorry.
Yeah, what was it, 6 weeks ago?
It was 7. Thank you.
I forgot. Right. Straight to the fucking top. Bypass all the normal shit.
I'll have you know, it was a walk-in. Thank you very much. Okay.
What was it?
And then he immediately
It's a skull with some fire. It's not terrible.
That's actually pretty good. You know what it needs? A slug.
A slug?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys about it. That's a cool walk-in. I would be stoked for that as a walk-in.
Yeah. I mean, I came in with the image, but still, you know, it's not terrible. It's good.
I would be super stoked for that. I would be super stoked for that kind of walk-in. The shop that Denny and I worked at fucking forever and a day ago was that shop. You walked in and they were like, I want a rose. And they're like, okay, you want me drawing you one or do you want number 4 on Google? And they would like number 4 on Google and they would hit print and run it through thermofax and that was the tattoo. Like literally, I remember people would come in and they would try to guess, they'd place bets on which number of photo it was in line on Google.
Roll some dice for it.
You played a lot of dice. A whole lot of dice.
All right.
An angry amount of dice. Yeah. To not have a single tattoo. You don't have any dice either. I have dice. I think there's only 2. Like, you got 1
Oh, man.
2 dice. I got the dice late in the game, to be honest with you. Yeah, like I chose that.
What?
7 of dice, put it on. Yeah.
Ready. Let's go.
That's starting to sound like the title for something.
Let's call that the title of today's episode.
1 cloud and 2 dice.
So, Kyle, new assignment. What do you need more to do? We're going to give you the 2 dice.
No, that's our next gangster rap. You guys are leaving this round.
1 cloud.
2 dice. Oh,
yeah.
So you're cloud and we'll be dice.
Yeah. Then I need you to bust a freestyle, bro.
All about clouds and dice. Yeah.
For the album.
This is the first track, baby.
clouds, the dice. I sit and all night, don't see what is going on tonight. I'm out throwing these. Where'd my beat go? Out throwing. Oh, where beats go? It's on me. It's on me. Come on. That's flowing. It's on the beat. You can't spring me to a challenge. I can't. That was awesome. That's great. I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I didn't expect you to do it, bro. I love that. That was great. No reaction that I get. And it's not even in the microphone? It's right back up. Shit. That's how you know it's for real. Motion starts happening. I want to stuff on my face. Feel it, bro. You did it. You did your thing, bro.
You stand correctly.
Oh, God. I grew up in Whitehall. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Good dice. We did that thing. I don't even want to admit how many. No, spent a lot of time there. Yeah. It's in the belly. It's okay. Yeah, that's gotta be nice. It's red. It's already super red, so you know it works.
Okay, well, sorry.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll talk this on. What's going on in the Todd's world? How are you?
Good, not much right now.
How's poker been treating you?
Not good the last tournament.
Unfortunately.
No, well, I played it pretty shitty, so I deserved it myself, actually. I did it to myself.
Gotcha.
I gave him no credit for having an actual hand. I hate blind versus blind, okay? And that's what the situation was. So, you know, when he limps into my big blind and I got king, queen, of course I'm fucking raising you. 100%. Every day, all day, every fucking day. So he calls and I hit the queen on, he bets the flop. And I'm like, because queen comes out top pair and that, and I'm like, you gotta be serious, really? So I shove all in, right?
Mm-hmm.
He called and I was like, wow, really? So I flip over my king queen and he fucking's got ace queen.
Just the look on that, huh?
I mean, what fucking idiot limps with ace queen? No, I deserve that. I'm hyper aggressive, so he's probably played against me and realized that I would do something like that. So, you know, I did it to myself. I mean, I'm not a weak player. I mean, I'm hyper aggressive.
Right, you just go for it.
Oh yeah. When I know I got you beat, or if I believe I have you beat, yeah, I jam.
All right. That's fair.
So, I did and got snapped big time. I looked at the one dude that I play with all the time, and he looked at me and he's going, oh man, he just went, you know, because I know he's done something like that too. And we just looked at each other going, yeah, figures, right?
Yeah, right.
And
that one chance.
In that one spot, right? You know, and you know, I mean, I didn't have to play it like that. I could have just played it really simple, just called his bet all the way down. But you know, no, Billy Big Balls here had to shove.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
Well, you know, I mean, I was like 100% sure I had the best hand at that point. I mean, there was no doubt in my mind. You know,
yeah,
it's Yeah, it was just stupid playing a huge pot like that in that early in a time, man. I had no reason even to attempt to do it. It was stupid.
Well, live and learn, hopefully.
Well, no, you know, it's we all do it. I mean, every player's done it, man. I mean, you know, I've watched the World Series all summer, man, and I watched like McGrano lost 1.1 million.
Oh. Yeah, that's it.
I
You know,
couldn't fathom losing anywhere. Like, if you take $60 for me, I'm pissed. Right? You just said 1.1 mil lost. Yep.
yeah, you know, I mean, that's tournament variance sometimes, man. I mean, you can play great, and still not make no fucking money.
I mean, you guys want to play slots? I'm pretty good at those. Yeah, I'm not much shit. I really didn't expect this to work this well. So I put on just a thin layer of Zinza because I just got a little baby bottle, just kind of hoping for a head start. And apparently it's held fast and is absorbed into my system fairly well. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed at this point.
Have you gotten hit yet with that needle?
And we'll be good. No. I can get it, buddy. Oh, yeah. If we're doing it, I'm playing slots. Because, I mean, I can just load up my player card and just hit max bet, spin and spin and spin and spin. Just like them dates.
I tried playing slots when I went to the casino when I was leaving to come out here to Ohio, and I just saw all the flashing lights go, spend the most amount of money. That's literally what it said. It's like play max bet. And I was like, I have to leave. I can't do this.
I mean, or you could have won a bunch of money.
That's fair.
I'm feeling anything there, Ben?
So Ben, how are you feeling?
I'm numb as fuck. I'm just trying not to talk while he's ripping long ass lines.
You know, it's probably hard to podcast and talk and get tattooed at the same time.
I'm numb as fuck. I can talk. I'm just not trying to wiggle my belly.
I'll be all right, bro.
The cameras weren't, or the mics weren't.
The mics only pick up a little bit too. You got to be within like 10 feet of them.
Yeah.
Get that.
Yeah, it was hard hearing you guys downstairs. For sure.
We were trying to share. That's not always the best.
Any fond commentary on this?
Not really. Just getting
In there,
the shot.
getting all them good shots.
When's the last time you were tattooed?
Hell City by Bruno.
Months ago.
Last Monday, right here. Pretty much in this exact same position. Fawn did a bunch of work on my leg. Fawn and I are encapsulating the entire back of both my legs from front of my calf to front of my calf. It's a hefty project, but we're ticking along.
January 25th was the last time I got tattooed.
Does that feel like a long break, Todd?
It's 32. Yeah. In reality, I haven't gotten tattooed that much in the past 3 fucking years.
I go through cycles. I get tattooed a bunch, and then I take a year off. Then I get tattooed a bunch. Because it's like when you're in the mind frame of remembering to schedule and seeing all the tattoo homies and doing all the things. Sorry, movie. Over here wiggling.
Oh yes.
All right. Numbing cream kind of gives you a false sense of what you're working. Yeah, so like I need to pay extra attention to not wiggle.
Yeah, kind of like getting your muscles.
Yeah, yeah. Well, more of you just don't realize what you're doing is all. You know what I mean? Like you're not paying as close attention to what you're doing because I can focus on other shit. That's not normal. Normally we're intertwined in the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, about this point, you're requesting your decision on why the fuck am I doing this again?
Because there's so much empty space still. No. I got tons of space left. Yeah. I got pitties and legs, bunch of stomach stuff still.
A lot of loose little bits.
Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Armpits, I think, after my legs are going to be my next daunting task. I think once Fawn wraps up my legs, that's our next shift.
I know I'm gonna do mine. It's just when.
And because Todd has made so much fun of me, I've talked to Senior Richard Cook about pulling my back up to my neck at some point in my life.
You getting peer pressured into it?
I don't know if pressured is the right word, but he laid a good point. At this point in my life, it's not like the neck is making any detrimental difference to how I appear. I already got a fuck ton of tattoos.
It's fair.
What are you gonna do on the neck?
It'll look different at you though after you get your neck done though. I'll tell you that.
I'm sure. I don't know. Denny asked me what I think I'm going to get, and honestly, I'm more of a hey artist that did all this other work. Tie this together. What's your game plan?
Yeah.
It's more positive than negative though.
What do you think Rich is going to want to do?
More than likely continue some of this geometric dot work stuff up through, and I'm a big fan of the way he uses light sources behind stuff, and I don't know. I really just prefer to. Hey, bro, what's your thoughts? I'd rather you be super pumped on your project than me feed you a shitty idea that you make work. Because I don't design stuff for a living. You guys draw on people's bodies every day. Like, I kind of don't have the right to be that specific. I'm not that cool.
You're the artist type of guy.
Absolutely.
You're the artist.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Like, if you want to talk loose concept, I'm all about it. I'm not going to leave you totally hanging. I'm not just going to be like, blank space, bro, fucking fill it. But I feel like, for example, when I did my back, he was like, what do you want? I was like, I don't know. I like skulls and your mandala stuff. I like your dot work. He's like, all right, say less. Cool. When I did my leg, I was like, snake, water. That'd be cool. Okay, say less.
I did the same thing with my arm. I was like, all right, alien space whales. Let's go for it and just see what happens.
That is so general, Kyle. Way to be not specific.
It's a concept. I threw it out and then just go from there.
I mean, that's a fair bet.
Yeah.
It's a fair bet. No one's mad at that.
Sometimes those work out the best.
Sometimes you're artist on some bullshit.
But I mean, my mindset's kind of changed to that recently too. It's like now it's like, okay, who do I want for what section? And like, just give them a section and be like, all right, go for it. I like it, then we'll do it.
I mean, Fawn, how much did we talked about my leg, but not specifics. How much input was given for that? I didn't realize you didn't have a microphone. I'm sorry, I'm a dick.
I have a mic now. Honestly, yours is one of the ones where I feel like we just kind of looked at some of my paintings that you liked, and that was kind of like what we ran with. based on those paintings. So there's like 3 paintings that we kind of pulled some ideas from. And then I was like, how about this, this, and this? And you were like, hammock?
Yeah, I think that was my opinion.
Yep.
Maybe like this thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Jordan over here creeping.
Jordan's creeping in.
He's a creep.
Oh, buddy.
How's it going, man?
It's going well. Where are you?
Doing awesome. Back every 30.
Our microphone's just the machine.
There you go.
60 lines and crooked spines, baby. Oh, that was my past. Oh, literally so much back. I stopped. I was like, oh my God, my shoulders back.
For those of you that can't hear the microphone people, we're talking about how bad their backs hurt because they have to slave for you all day, hunched over.
Slave all day.
A giant step device where you can just like twist it and it'll just push my spine together.
You want
I'd
a rack.
love one of those.
You need a rack that you can just like stretch yourself out with.
Right, but it'll switch me.
Four horses, heavy weights.
You could get one of those medieval torture things that stretches you. Get one of those.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Is that what they're called?
Rack.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Sounds great, but you know what sounds better?
You know what sounds better? The exact same thing.
Yep. I agree.
I know it was called a rack.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, I'm kind of comforted that you don't know a lot about torture devices. Okay.
I know about escapism. Do you know that one?
No.
It's where they put you on a boat, push you out into the middle of the ocean. You're covered in milk and honey, and all the insects just come and eat at you.
Okay. I know that's called. Have you ever actually considered tarring and feathering and how brutal that is? Like, we talk about it like it's a joke, but like when people got tarred and feathered, it was hot tar, and then they put feathers all over them. And so, have you ever gotten a grease burn? Grease burns suck, right? Because it just stays hot and keeps burning. So imagine that with tar, which is even stickier. Now, on top of that, imagine taking a down pillow and dumping it all over yourself, except they're dirty feathers. They're not clean bleached feathers.
So again, I'll get all infected.
You've got all these like mice and like uncomfortableness on top of like burning, festering flesh that's got tar leaching into it. And then they just like drop you into the woods. So you actually like, if you're tarred and feathered, it's not like a humiliation thing. You die of exposure and infection. It's awful. The way that people torture.
That's it. That seems like the medieval way to go. It's just infection and slow rot.
Yeah.
That's because antibiotics wasn't a thing, and it was an easy way to get people.
Well, I think that's all they could come up with at the time too, with what they had.
Just rub poo in it; they'll die.
You'll die.
It's pretty simple.
Just speed it up.
Well, I mean, they used to have like public executions too. Everyone would go and watch, the bad guy.
That's why everybody is soft now. We stopped killing people.
Exactly. Bring back the death sport.
Thank you.
Gladiatorial arenas.
Kyle, we're gonna get closer by the day. I'm gonna end up adopting you. You're gonna live in my spare bedroom.
We'll go on a bike ride together.
Don't push it. I'd like to thank our sponsor for the evening, Zensa.
That I need to actually read.
Did you just say you need to catch up on your torture reading?
Yeah, I have Yeah, it is what I said. Yeah.
I'm gonna stop picking on you.
That's one way to put it. Yeah, it was more so like an educational inspiration kind of thing.
I pick on you because I love you. I just want to make you stronger.
It's weird that you don't hear a machine, though.
Say that again, Sam.
I said it's weird that you don't hear a machine.
I keep pulling the microphone away. I don't want to disinfect the microphone when we're done.
Can you hear a lot of the microphone buzz, Todd, or no?
No, not at all.
Okay, because I've seen a couple podcasts where they did like an episode getting tattooed, and it was like you could hear a low hum the whole time.
Well, that's why Fawn did an amazing job picking out the microphones that we use. They're very short for what they capture in the room, so they don't catch a lot of ambient noise.
That's why
'Cause
here
she's
at
smart like
Tattoo
that.
Collecting 101, we're good at our jobs.
No, just fun. Can we just be real? She's the only one.
You're good at what you do.
We all just kind of hang out.
I'm good at spending money. That's basically what you're saying.
You know what? That's what
You're
it
good
usually
with
comes
the
down to.
homework and spent the money.
You know, I haven't paid attention to my financials in a long time. And now that I have to, it's like, what? I spent how much on what? Do I really need that?
See, I'm on the extreme opposite end where I do track everything and I'm like, I need to spend less on all this stuff when really I probably should not be spending less on it.
It's all right. It balances out. Denny, you are whipping through these lines like they're butter.
Machine's pretty cool.
What machine are you running with?
This is a Vader Century. That's a Vader 3 by Century Machines. It runs just like a coil machine, but it's a rotary pen. It's really cool. Kind of sounds like a coil, but slaps like a coil. Feels grips like a coil for sure. But it has its place. It does. I don't try to do realism with it too much, or it's definitely very, very punchy. It puts it in.
I feel like you need a microphone in your hand from now on, Ben. You
Why?
just need it, like, just all the time.
It's part of my persona.
Yeah, just like MC Ben, like Mr. Movie Phone.
But my
Ben.
hand is already going numb. See? Because I have poor grip strength.
Well, that's why you like
From the
switch to the
jiu-jitsu.
other hand.
Well, see, this hand is very uncomfortably grabbing the top of this chair as to not be in Dennis's face and or in my mouth. Or fucking Dennis. Don't air lick my stomach. And I will. Sorry.
I'm kind of disappointed at how white that wall is behind you, Ben. But I did
Meaning like you need to
repaint my
decorate?
paintings temporarily. So usually there's a big painting hanging there.
It shows up a bit better on there.
The white wall?
Yeah. If I can see it on there, it's like really like worn out. But it looks a little nicer on there.
Oh, yeah, right on. Why would he? Yeah, Jennifer. Really? No, I just got too fostering. This is really way. It was really the one I sweet time with, but not like anything else. I'm just, I get angry over this.
Lines are done.
And just like that.
Just like that.
It's a fresh up.
Oh, that's
And
fair.
look how crisp those are.
That's fair, I suppose.
Russian.
Brush them in.
That's it.
Should we tell them how the tattoo started? Started in the kitchen. In my kitchen. Total scritcher style. Because I'm a scratcher, bro. No, it was you were in town and it was late as fuck. And we were like, we could drive to a studio or we could do this in my kitchen. And we both went, yeah. Didn't we just get done eating? It's just so much easier just to like.
Did you even clean up after dinner?
Yes, absolutely.
Nope.
Then he call me out. Call me out.
He just
Straight
like
from dinner to
slid the
tattoo.
plates to the
I
side.
just laid on the table, finished dinner, started blasting. No gloves.
Garlic
Started
bread
using some of that
everywhere.
grease that's left over for the glide.
Oh, that pushed it too far. One use, one
There you
use
go,
that
Kyle,
we
ruined
don't
shit.
have for butter. You took it too far. Is that bacon grease?
Chunky.
No, it's actually, I can't believe it's not butter.
Synthetic chunky.
Ugh.
Feel pretty numb.
I mean, it feels like a tattoo.
But what percentage of a tattoo?
Yeah.
65.
65? That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's just easing into it.
No, I mean it's still numb. It's just not.
never stays fully numb. It's no matter what you do, especially as soon as you wipe it with alcohol. Right? You know what I mean? Like relaying stencils and stuff like that. I've got in the place numb as shit, and they're like, "Well, let me relay the stencil 6 times."
Nope.
Nope.
Not
Never mind.
no.
I've definitely had way worse disease as far as the pain level is concerned.
He's like an angel, dog.
In the hands of an angel.
Didn't know this was the musical episode.
Isn't that every episode?
I mean, we do break into song quite
a lot of songs.
We do sing a lot. Tattoo 101 karaoke.
We should do karaoke.
We should
bring it.
Not as an episode, but
no,
just in general.
We should just go as a group.
We should just go as a group.
I used to
bring down the house.
I love it.
Yeah.
I used to work for a bar that did like full stage.
Well, we could all do YMCA.
No, we couldn't. Yeah. The Shuckies was a blast.
Definitely.
Sam, the owner, is now the painter at the bike shop that was in the same building as me. It's pretty rad. I haven't seen him in like 10 years. He just shows up one day like, "Hey, I'm here to paint bikes." And I'm like, "Sam, fucking leave it." It's like, ah! Shouts up, Randy, gave me a hug. I worked for Sam several times in lots of different capacities.
Is it not a bar anymore?
No, it was a while ago. His landlord really screwed him over. They like money, you know. They want extra, then they want more, and then they're like, "Oh, you're doing well. Well, give me more money. I'm not going to fix anything or do anything or help you in any way, but just give me more money."
There's some good landlords out there.
Yeah, shout out to them, but fucking
Shout out to all the dope landlords out there.
not like the dope landlords, but like the good landlords.
The ones that just like do their job.
So yeah,
PHAT.
pretty hot campaign. Some dude just fucked up one day and was like, "No, I mean like, PHAC. I'll figure something out. Hold on, let me think. Pretty amazing. Kyle doesn't even know what we're talking about.
No,
He's just over there fucking it all up. Fucking it all up. What are you, 12, 13 now?
Add 10, thank you.
Add 10? Yeah. I'm officially the old guy now. It's weird. I was never ready for that shit.
Not getting old?
Yeah.
You weren't planning on getting old?
No, young for life, bro. I really didn't think I was going to make it past 25. So, every day a blessing.
What's the thing about like tattoos is there's like, especially for spectators, it's kind of boring, so
It's really hard to include a room in a tattoo conversation unless you're like, especially in a shop, the environment in a shop is always so mixed bag that it's very hard to like get everyone in on the same conversation.
Tis. I was kind of hoping these guys be over there carrying the conversation instead of me. But like Vaughn's they're all sucked in. They're just sucked in.
It's not often that I get to sit and watch somebody else tattoo like this. I still enjoy it. Like the thousands of hours I've spent doing it myself and the hundreds of hours I've spent watching other people, I can still just get lost watching.
So what are you watching for right now when you're looking?
What am I watching for?
Yeah.
Oh, well, so like right now I'm watching. So
don't be nervous, Denny.
Sometimes it's like a matter of like just watching what they're doing and just like taking in,
the techniques that they're using.
Just taking in like, oh, that's how they're thinking, that's how they're doing it. But other times it's like, okay, how similar is what they're doing to how I would do it? Or like, as I'm looking at these petals, like there might be one way that I would sculpt the petals out, but he's sculpting them a little bit differently than my mind's eye saw it. So it's kind of cool to see his vision coming more to life.
Right. Just watching like the creative process behind it.
Yeah, it's a funny thing with roses. Every tattooer knows how to tattoo a rose, but every tattooer's rose looks different.
That's why I started collecting them around my stomach. Most of these are from different artists. And the idea was to pack in a bunch of homie roses all the way around my fatness.
Working.
It's working. We're getting there. I need like 7 more though.
Get you surrounded with all the romies.
The romies. Oh.
Romies?
I guess.
No, it wasn't a good one.
He thinks I'm mean, so I try to be nice.
So fun as a collector, though.
The microphone's still up.
What's that, Todd?
As a collector, what are you thinking?
I mean,
what do you say? I can hear.
I remember being tattooed there, so like I know that spot. I know what it feels like. Yeah. I had somebody really delicate tattoo one side, and I had somebody a little bit more heavy-handed tattoo the other. So I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Ben's doing just fine, and this isn't that crazy of an area. As much as we were like teasing him and poking fun, this isn't awful of a spot.
Jerks.
It's okay. We've only been laughing part of the day.
Jerks. They lit up our group text with 68 different messages of making fun of me. It's fine. I'm not sensitive or anything, guys.
It's not sensitive at all.
It's just my feelings.
It was all fun.
Yeah, it gets mesmerizing watching.
I mean, Bob Ross made a career off of it.
The conversation fades away once I like start like super hyper focusing on like the specific marks that you're making. Oh, okay.
So today we're gonna start in this soft cherry red. From this black whip, we're gonna bring this texture out. I don't even know what he's doing. I'm just talking, you guys suck. That's actually what I really love about the traditional style of tattooing is that most of your shading's done with that background and just whipped through and gives you that depth that a lot of people just don't understand.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even understand. So I just
then he was like, sometimes I don't even understand. I just tattoo. It looks great.
Yeah. You know, a touch of purple could help that really sink back a bit.
Good job, Kyle.
Gonna add some complimentary dusty rose.
Shout out to Zinsa.
Masked machines, is that what you're talking about? I wouldn't say everybody does. I do. Derb does. He still lines with a coil, but cool. Yeah, I feel this. So here's my honest opinion about masked tattoo machines. I feel like if more people give them a chance, masked machines are going to ruin the hustle of the tattoo machine game.
Why is that?
Because they're a fraction of the price and just as good. Same motors, same milled aluminum. You know what I mean? Like the electronics are so simple now. The motors are so good and so simple and so inexpensive, and everybody's getting the same motors. Like, how do you justify $1,200 for something that cost $100 to build?
How do you think a brand becomes? How do you think a brand justifies doing that, charging that much? especially with the
So
competition.
what's the difference between driving a Z71 and a Cadillac Escalade?
I don't know.
There's not. The emblems are different.
Car's a car, baby.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's all the same,
Well,
you don't
technically,
care
a
about.
Z71 is an LS motor, where a Cadillac is a VVT, was a variable timing motor.
I didn't even know what
like-
cars those were.
I don't know.
And some gearhead's gonna chime in and tell me I'm wrong, but like my concept's the same.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to tell me I'm dead wrong for supporting masked machines because they're so inexpensive, but I do huge amounts of work and I saturate wall to wall, and my machines keep up.
It's about how you use it,
if
not
I can do that
necessarily
with a $200 machine, why do I need to spend $1,200 on a machine every year and a half and then not be able to get it serviced? How about I just buy 2 masked machines and I've got one, and then I've got a backup for still under $500?
Do you think people like hate on the lesser quality or the lesser priced machines because they spent more money on higher priced machines, or do you think they just have like a distaste for the availability?
So you got to remember that people have a tendency to want to show off and be flashy. So some people are going to buy the expensive thing just because it's expensive, not because it's good. I'd rather have, and I do have, a drawer full of masked machines instead of one other machine.
So Fawn, if you were going to recommend one machine for me to start snailing with, what would it be?
The masked tour.
Okay.
All right, Ben, I'll order us some.
Thanks, Kyle.
We carry them.
That we do. And employee discount.
Oh, shit.
We got it on every angle. It's one of those things. Truthfully, Denny, I think a lot of the magic is in the cartridges now rather than the machines. I think the machines are all pretty similar, like you'll find
motor.
what you like and what you don't like, but within reason, the machines are getting pretty similar now. But I think the cartridges, I think there's a lot of differences from one cartridge to the next.
Would you be surprised to find out that they all come from the same place? Like all the cartridges?
There's only a couple of suppliers really that are actually like manufacturing them.
Parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's differences. Like the 2 cartridges that we carry, for instance, we've got a band drive and we've got a membrane drive, but the ink flow between the 2 is a night and day difference. Sure. So I have a preference based on the ink flow and how easy they are to clean out. But the plastics are molded just the same as everywhere else, but there's just those tiny little differences that the ink might flow smoother, the ink might flow faster, might rinse out easier. It might, some people might want the ink to flow more slowly for what they're doing. Like there's all kinds of variables, but I think there's more magic in the cartridge than I think we give credit for.
Do you think the placebo exists in like cartridges and brands with tattoos like it does in medicine I
absolutely think that people think because they spend more on it, it's better. But that's what I'm saying with like the gimmicks with the machines. Just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it's better.
Or you hear one brand get thrown around and you're like, yeah, it's got to be the best then. Everyone's talking about it.
Cheyenne's like the first with everything. Like they're ahead of the game in the technology. They're usually the first to get the patents, and then everybody else has to
work around that.
Yeah. Yep. So Cheyenne's kind of like leading the pack with the research and development. But there are other companies that are out there just as much, but
working on different parts of it.
Yeah. One of the machines that I'd like to get my hands on to give a test run is one of the Numas.
Numa 4s?
Yeah.
Yeah, those things look like they rip.
Yeah. I feel like that it'll probably feel pretty similar in my hand to the little tiny masks that I like to work with too. And actually, Denny, the reason I found masks is I was like doing a lot of research on what were like the smallest, lightest machines that ran well. And I was just ordering like generic machines left and right, just trying to figure out like what I liked, what I didn't like. If I were to like reverse engineer these, how would I build a machine? And that's how I found the mask. And it was in like, if I was going to do this myself, how would I do it? And then I find that, and it's like, well, this has all the qualities I would put into a little tiny machine. So I guess I don't need to do it. Right. They did it for me. And what? It's cheap. Shoot.
Are there any downsides with it that you find?
I'm still running with my first machine that I got like 4 years ago. So I'll let you know when I kill it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know when
That's
I kill
right,
that
yeah.
machine, Kyle.
We can keep going down if you want. Oh, gosh. We'll show you. 3 seconds.
Yeah, but it was really through like just trying to figure out what. So one of the things that I crave in a machine, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have real dainty girly arms and little dainty puny wrists.
And you got your nice pink machine.
Well, actually, the first one I got was blue.
Oh, okay.
What
grip tape are you
Kyle?
using?
It's about
Well,
her size.
she's got the pink grip tape. I've seen her machine. She wraps it up nice and pink.
Seem to like pink.
Way to assume the worst of me, Ben.
That's what I do, Pete. That's what I do.
I don't remember where I was going, but I was doing my homework just on
Dainty arms, little machines.
I wanted to find a little tiny, super lightweight machine. And that's what I wanted to do, was design one that was a lot smaller and it balanced the weight in my hand instead of outside of my hand. And I just feel like not having that like counterbalance of weight pulling against my wrists just makes my day a lot more comfortable. So that's what I was looking for, was just a smaller machine that put the weight inside my hand. And that's how I found them. I found some like garbage machines that weren't near as well built.
Yeah. Do you think that the price of a machine deters people like scratchers, and that's probably why the stigma exists toward cheaper machines?
I mean, you can get a $30 machine off of Amazon all day long.
Really?
Like you can buy them off of Walmart now. You can go to walmart.com and buy a tattoo kit. Don't do that, people. But I'm just saying.
I'm coming
Yeah, I'm
at
just
you.
saying, like,
That's like
where there's a will, there's a way.
You can buy True Tattoo on Amazon though when that happens.
It's true. It's true.
Wait, what?
Yeah, True Tattoo Supplies is on Amazon now.
Not yet.
If
Soon.
you're an Amazon surfer, you'll be able to find our stuff. And then Kyle and Jess will pack it out just like the rest of the orders.
Good job, Kyle.
Trying my best. Thank you.
Proud of you.
Little improvements everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, it's funny you talk about order machines and that, because, before Rotaries, everyone, most made their own machines, or, could get them. It wasn't really there was some brands out there, but again, the machine makers were what drove that market. Today, it's not like that. It's big corps, but, most tattooers had a ton of machines in their drawers.
I used to have shit machines.
I used to have like probably 30 or 40 machines when I was in my coil days, but
Hey,
that's
there you
because I knew
go.
the machine builders, and they were usually friends that were, constantly coming around with a whole new supply. So it was a different experience. Now it's like I got to wait years for the new model to be updated in the rotary game. So I only pretty much use one for 2-3 years at a time now. So I can get why they're like $1,300 now as opposed to like $300, because it's like you only buy one and you're going to have it for years, rather than how I used to buy machines probably every quarter.
So what about this? If they're $1,200, we could just get like some kind of personal touch in them. Like I remember when I was paying hundreds of dollars for my coil machines, they were all hand built. They were all signed.
At least
most
get your
of
name
them were
engraved on
signed
there.
to me. Yeah, like most of them were built for me. And like now you just order your tool, your most sacred tool. It comes from a box.
And it looks the same as everyone else's.
No magic, no, like, I don't know. In the coil days, it was like you made art with art.
Right.
Now, like, it's cool that they're milled nicely and they're powder coated. Cool.
Let's get some custom textures and some fun colors.
I get some snake skin? Can I get that dipped in epoxy? Can I get...
Have your machine match your little chair setup and armrest? That'd be cool.
Can I get the prototype model?
So what you're saying is we're missing a market and we should relaunch?
I just don't think I think the new generation of consumers don't really give a shit about that quality or that handcrafted. They just want convenience and instant gratification. And it's not about waiting, or, the quality that goes into a handcrafted artisan piece is a little different. And I think the new generation of consumers just want it now. They're so programmed for right now. So these mass produced machines are going to win every day over a hand-built machine, unless you come from that Renaissance or you're looking for novelty or you're looking for some type of like, just something that reminds you of the olden days. This is pretty much the moving forward, how we're going to be doing it.
You all heard it first from Denny.
Well put.
I don't know. I remember the day where you'd like walk into a room full of artists, people would be working and be like, who built that?
Right.
Who made that? Where'd that come from?
Did you remember having to yell over 5 people trying to use coils at the same time?
Did you ever wake up in the middle of the night just hearing that buzz?
No, I wake up to microwaves and somebody yelling from the expo. Still, I haven't worked in a kitchen in 15 years. Still.
It's funny. I was talking about ghost clutches the other day. Have you ever experienced a ghost clutch?
Oh, I ghost clutch all the time.
It's a funny thing. If you've driven a stick, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you've never driven a stick, it's like, what's a ghost clutch?
Mm-hmm.
But there's this thing that happens. So like I drive a full-size van and it's not a stick. It's a regular automatic vehicle, but it has a ghost clutch. Every time I stop abruptly, like that wheel well goes all the way more to the floor.
Yeah, Caddy's got a ghost clutch too, because you can slap shift it. And so like when you're doing like the sports mode or whatever, my brain automatically goes to, you move the gear, you push the pedal down.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what you're supposed to do. But the pedal that's there is the emergency brake.
Oh yeah, you don't push that one. That's not the one. That's not the one.
Because the car's
unless you're trying to go drifting.
It's kind of cheating.
Is it?
I mean, if you're a purist.
No, I mean that's how the purists do it. They start with the e-brake, then the gas.
Well,
pitch it, then rip it.
That's fair, but if you're just like ripping the e-brake and ripping reverse donuts, that doesn't count.
No, my car is rear-wheel drive, huh? There's no such thing as a reverse donut.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Grip it and rip it. That's what we did.
Next time we have my friend Siobhan on, we're gonna have to tell some stories.
Oh yes, I almost got fired from the t-shirt shop.
Oh no!
From doing burnouts and donuts out back one morning at like 4:30 in the morning. My boss came out like, "The fuck are you doing?" Living life.
Work hasn't started yet.
I had. It may have been a crowd. You're not just being neglectful, you're also stopping other people from completing their duties.
That was the conversation.
Because they also like life. Fuck off.
Is that really the conversation?
That was absolutely the conversation. Apparently the 2 people that stopped to watch was too much.
Who wouldn't stop to watch burnouts?
Lame people. That was the day the check engine light turned on.
I wonder why.
Because
that's what I was thinking.
Tines and the timing chain geared.
How you feeling?
It feels like a tattoo. I mean, we're good. We're good. Zinza only goes so deep. So once you start packing, you know what I mean? Like, we start packing in color, it's a tattoo.
Is it still like kind of work?
No, it still kind of works, but once you start reworking an area, the skin's open. You know what I mean? Like, so anytime you're going back over anything, you're not as nearly. I'm sitting here talking to you, so it's not murder. I'm whiny as fuck.
I've seen you get a lot of tattoos, and I've never seen you whine.
Heard him whine a couple of
times. I whine at Fawn. I make her deal with me whining. That's why I keep saying it, so she understands that I'm just whining.
So you mean you don't whine at your other artists the way you do me?
No.
It's that special bond where you can yell at her.
That is a thing. That's a.
I know if I whine,
me and my best friend have that. We'll yell at each other all day, and they're like, "Are you guys bad?" It's like, No, that's just how we talk.
That's how we communicate.
It's that's a different kind of challenge when you're tattooing somebody you're super duper close with. Like if you're tattooing like a family member,
you gotta be soft.
Yeah, it's
that like boundary isn't there.
It's like, I'm hurting you. They're there.
Yeah.
Oh, you there.
Poor thing. Aw. This was for last week.
Kyle's over there stabbing people.
Too. He's gonna be like, Ben, have a seat.
So Ben, we're doing your elbows, right? And your armpits.
Nope. I'm throwing some no's out here. This
I'll be
next
gentle
phase of
with
my
you.
life is just telling a lot of people no, Kyle. Sorry you're on that list.
One day I'll swing around and I'll be gentle with you.
That was the most erotic thing you have ever said to me. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm getting kind of worried about leaving the two of you alone.
I'll start talking about clouds again.
Great. You come back, we just be high. Cloud.
Sorry. Cloud. The dice.
Got that tattoo. You got the cloud.
Later I tattooed 9 underneath it, if you want to be real. And then put clouds around it. My mama still didn't know what that tattoo meant. Now she knows.
If she watches.
Now she knows, Denny. You said that for so many years. Oh, Denny said, poor mom. I'll never forget the day my parents found out I was getting tattooed. Wes had done this giant geisha piece. Denny's leaning over. As like my second or third tattoo. I think it was my third. And my oldest brother and I were fighting out in the.
You went hard in the paint early.
Oh yeah, super hard in the paint. I got little trinket tattoo on my foot on my leg. I got this bullet target over my heart, and then giant geisha piece. But me and my brother were fighting out in the front yard, and I was drowning him with a yard hose. I was like holding him down like a head and arm, like shoving a hose in his mouth, and he tried to rip my shirt over my head, trying to stop me from waterboarding him. And my mom saw the giant ass tattoo on my ribs. Didn't care that I was murdering my brother. Just you
have the devil in.
Satan will come straight from your body.
Keep killing your brother though. That's okay.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
We were laughing.
That's just kids being kids.
I mean, I was 20.
Kids being kids.
Now look at you.
She was kind of like, well, I guess that's something. Yeah, come to think of it, that tattoo you're leaning on down there's almost 20 years old. That's kind of sad. Yeah, I'm old, bro. I'm old.
Agreed. You think I can get tattooed till you're like can't get tattooed anymore? Or you just
No, I'm trying to fill in these spots and wrap it up. Wrap it up. If I'm doing this for another couple of years, I'm probably gonna be pissed. Just to be honest with you. Like, yeah.
Can I be your last tattoo?
No. Sorry, Kyle.
That's fair.
Last tattoo.
No.
Well, it's already been planned. That's why I told Derb that he could do his Stony Sinclair Death Moth right at the break of my throat and my collarbone to finish the thing. So not to be disrespectful to you, but it's already been promised.
I respect that.
Thanks. But to be clear, I probably would have just told you no if that wasn't a plan anyway. Right.
And I respect that too.
Thanks, bud. Whenever everything else is done. Then he asked, when's that going down?
when are you gonna get everything finished, bro?
I mean, only time can tell. Only time can
Yeah, what are you just doing a roast today? Come on.
Just a
Let's
roast
get deeper
today.
in there.
Just a 5-hour appointment on Monday. Just little things.
You'll be fine.
I booked with Corey that day as well. So that's what happens. The more What was that?
Dog stepped on something.
They're just zooming in for them dates.
Just gotta really be careful if this machine goes through like a coil. So I'll try tattooing like a rotary and it's too saturated.
Great.
No.
Oh, flaunt flip the screen for me so I can see. That's so sweet. Oh, you have way more to do than I thought.
I thought we were almost done.
Okay, Warren, you kidding.
It was looking beautiful though.
Thanks, Lee. I wish I would have finished it when I drew it the first time. Because I don't remember the game plan too much, but well, the vision was a little different 5 or 7 years ago. I probably wouldn't have approached it in this style. Definitely changed up since then.
Should be different. I do believe we stopped at what, like 2:30 in the morning when we did this one the first time. I remember it was dumb and we were tired, and I was like, "This is dumb," and I'm tired. You're like, "Do you want to go a little bit more?" And I was like, "No." Actually, I think it was vice versa. I was like, "No, we should do a little more," and you were like, "I was like, never mind."
Tired.
Yeah. I'm not much of a night owl.
Yeah, I'm up at 4 or 5 every morning, and I'm out by 9 and return every night. So that's just how it be.
We're stretching the limits of Denny's day.
For sure.
Get that good angle.
You like that angle, Kyle?
That's a good angle. Do you like that angle, Ben?
I love that angle.
Yeah.
A big fan of that angle.
The cool thing about watching something once it's this far developed is you could have called this rose finished already, but once you keep pushing more layers of like just saturation and making everything soft and making like the parts of the petal that roll and round in on itself, making those like softly fold, it really just starts making a lot of difference.
And then when you watch that get sculpted as well, it's very special.
Yeah, it's like the difference between like getting it in and getting it done as fast as you can and getting it in and getting it done as nice as it can be done.
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 ways to approach everything. You can do it the fastest and be done with it and be on to the next, or you can do a nice job and really make it come to life. And that's kind of what we're watching happen.
Good job, Denny.
Plus, I would have approached this differently a couple of years ago. So now that I've had years to kind of think about this and, you know, apply some new tricks, I'm glad we did. But
I'll take some tricks.
Yeah.
I'll make some tricks. They're not just for kids, you know.
Right.
They don't nearly cut your mouth as bad as Captain Crunch.
You know about kicks, Kyle?
I have a box of kicks in my
You better.
If you Fawn just got like serial violent.
You're like, all right, you're fired for real.
It's all right. It's not your fault. You're young.
It's not my fault.
You guys have a favorite cereal?
Lactose intolerant?
Oatmeal?
No. It's fucking oat milk. You ever milked an oat? Never milked an oat. You can't milk an oat. You can't call it oat milk.
Well, not with that attitude.
Nut juice.
Nut juice.
That's what it should be.
You still drink milk? Or you were like,
No.
oh, I was gonna say, how do you spunk that?
I don't. I eat a lot of ice cream and shit a bunch though. It's a good time. Yeah. Hashtag worth it.
Oh, what? We're jumping on a new flower? No
Yeah.
warning?
There's tons of warning. You rubbed it first.
Silent.
I knew what was going on. I've had less warnings before, trust me. Fawn will ghost you. She'll be in one other spot, like this whole other realm, and then just be like, oh,
Whole other realm.
my bad. You're the other side of your leg? You weren't ready for that? That's a fun little floaty rib spot.
I'll get a razor. And, got a little bit more hairs on here.
This just in. Ben is a little too hairy.
I'm not, I mean, like, I'm a little worried.
Oh, it's just for this situation. That's all.
A little bit. A little bit.
Not bad. With the hands of an angel, tats away. Bring me up, Kyle. What the fuck?
I know nothing beyond that first line.
I made it up too, bro. Shit.
Go from the top. I'll jump in.
No. Killed it. Hit me natural. No.
All right, I'll get you next time.
No, you won't. You just let me down again.
Isn't that what I do best?
No.
No.
I mean, frequently, but no.
Frequently. Besides today.
Right. He just rolled the skin over my, like, folded it over my. Awesome. That was funny.
But did you die?
I wasn't even mad. Just kind of like cupped my ribs. A little unique. A little uniqueness going on.
So Denny Way.
That's right.
Learn something, fools.
The way I know how. Still no?
No.
Not at all.
No.
Now, how's it feeling now?
It's felt like a tattoo for a while now.
Okay. You still at a 6?
It's all relative. It's just
That's fair. Yeah.
It's hard to rate pain when it's not the same consistently.
Yeah.
It's the problem, not the problem. That's the way tattoos work. It's not a quarter-inch difference in the body is a whole lot of difference in the pain factor.
Yeah. You might end up feeling it somewhere else too.
Yeah.
Funny how the nerves work.
Yeah. I've had some really unique, like, especially when I was like get my butt tattooed, it made my foot hurt, like pulled real tight, like started moving my leg. It was dumb. You gotta remember to keep wiggling my fingers so blood goes.
Do a little wiggle.
We're down that stool.
Right for anything?
Nah, we're good. We're cruising.
Cruising straight through it, baby.
I feel like I've done this before.
What, this tattoo or just in particular? You've done this before.
Tattoo and a tattoo. Once or twice.
Oh, deja vu.
I have to remember to like use my foot switch because this machine's a little different. It runs with some plastic parts that can literally melt if I run it too long. So I gotta be really mindful of that. I'm always so used to just letting my machine run like the new rotaries I use. I just let them run. I don't even literally run the whole time I'm tattooing. So I always have to remind myself that this is still kind of like this is like a coil machine. I can't just do that. Literally run itself out. The parts will melt.
That might be awkward for me. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Well, it's a good thing there's plenty of backups around here just in case.
Do that.
You guys should talk about stuff.
We're watching. Letting the magic go.
I meant to distract my ass.
Oh, same to you.
No. I'd love that. Serenade me, Fawn.
Could change the music. I don't even know what we're listening to.
I don't know either. Just put it on. Something emo-ish.
It's all right.
Is that why I'm sad?
I thought that was just a tattoo.
Oh.
Marty's here. It should be Pink Floyd.
Marty's here. Go put it on. Pink Floyd it is.
Marty's here.
Man, the myth, the legend.
Still going strong.
This same tiger he did. That was really cool.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just his birthday this past weekend, was it? Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is there like a razor I can get anywhere and shave a little bit more?
Yeah. There should be some reusable, or not reusable, eco-friendly ones down there.
Gotcha.
Razors. Razors.
A little furrier.
A little furrier.
I'm sorry, I'm furry. Thanks, Fawn. You're the real American hero.
Thank you.
How's it getting tattooed and you being on a podcast?
It's kind of weird. So that for the people that can't.
Said, how's it getting tattooed and being on a podcast at the same time?
Awkward. I have way less clothes on than I normally do in public and recording.
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally getting tattooed is a very one-on-one experience with you and said artist, and you know, necessarily are concerned about having to carry a conversation for other people.
Right.
It's probably not as stressful and challenging as being tattooed at a convention, though, is it?
It's pretty similar.
You think so?
I know you guys, so no, maybe not. Strangers do suck. Not a big fan of people I don't know. Sorry, all you people I don't know out there. Come introduce yourself. We'll be besties.
You're doing a good job, Ben. If it were me tattooing you, you would have been like squealing and being like, let's go smoke some weed. Tattoos are stupid.
We've only been doing this like an hour.
It's only been an hour.
That's almost 8. To be fair, it's normally about the 3-4 hour mark where I really am just like, hey, so yeah, let's just go ahead and smoke.
Well, fine. We didn't get it done last time.
We were in my living room, bro. We were smoking while we did this. Are you kidding me?
One cloud. What we're gonna need to design for real is a single cloud that looks like a snail. One cloud.
Can that be my Indian name? Native American name?
One cloud.
They call me One Cloud.
Snail with one cloud.
That's too mouthy. That's a lot of words, Kyle. It's a lot to say. I'm not telling people that.
It's what, 2 extra words?
That's a lot of words, Kyle. Went from 1 word to 5.
Went from 2 to 4.
I'm not good at math. Stop yelling at me.
You wanted to come up with a newer, shorter, easier name than Ben.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's gonna work.
Nah.
Mono cloud.
I do have 3 first names, though. Technically, I'm supposed to be a serial killer.
Not time. You're still young.
Don't lie to me, man.
Hey, young buck.
Well, I got to cut out of here, guys. I got to go and take care of my son and do that. Have fun.
What's that, Todd? You
I
heading
gotta
out?
cut out here. Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Later, brother. Good to see you.
Yeah. It's cool watching you get tattooed.
Well,
Thanks,
so next week we'll be all together in person. So
Fuck yeah, Todd. Creepy hip hugs coming at you.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Looking forward to the next weekend. So, all right, guys. Have fun.
All right, man.
Later, brother.
Have a good week. Talk to you soon.
Later. Yep.
Now it's just us.
And then there was us.
Yay, man.
Just creeping closer.
Zoom
This
on
ultra
in.
zoom
You have any
in.
belly lit?
I wasn't zoomed in on your belly button. You know how I feel about belly buttons.
I know. So it's nice.
Okay, normal belly buttons, I don't have a problem with.
What? Yeah, you can't just leave us like that.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna get canceled for this.
Don't use names. You'll be fine.
So I have a problem with, and this is just a me problem. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If you have one of these belly buttons,
We still love you.
sorry, and like I'm sure I love everything else about you. But the Brazilian body lift belly buttons, I can't handle them. Like when women have, I guess men could have them too, but like when they have like surgeries on their abdomen to remove, like, you know, after baby weight, excess skin, things like that, they rearrange things, Denny. They rearrange things. And one of those things that they rearrange is the belly button. And I just can't get over it. They just like, okay, here's the thing. Like, if you're gonna change stuff, just like leave the belly button not there. Instead of putting like a weird, like cutting the belly button out and then sewing it back in, but then it's like doesn't look natural anyways. So why would you?
Can you Google that for us? I'm gonna need a visual.
You guys don't really want me to screen share this. I'm gonna get canceled if I show belly buttons.
We can pull it up on the phone. We won't have a screen, maybe screen.
Yeah, just show us.
I'm just saying,
Do you see a lot of these things or something? Or like, give us a search.
No, maybe it's because there's all this like dental and plastic surgery stuff that pops up on my Instagram feed because I follow all these medical pages and forums.
And the truth comes out.
No, I don't like it. I like understanding how they repair somebody's hand after he blew 2/3 of it off with a firework.
I like
that part.
That guy's hand blown off.
That part I'm cool with. The part that I'm not cool with is all the plastic surgery stuff that doesn't make any sense to me. That was an itch. That happens when you get a tattoo. That's real life.
That's so had to happen.
Yeah, it's just, there's nothing wrong with it. I just can't handle them.
I gotta see what these look like.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a screen.
So I have a resculpted belly button.
Pull it up on the big screen.
Yeah. I had an upper umbilical hernia from catching a motorcycle that fell off of a jack stand.
Ouch.
Yeah, it sucked. And then I went and did jujitsu a bunch. I was like, guys, it feels like my stomach's falling out of my belly button. And they're like, quit being soft.
And then they're like, whoa, is that intestine coming out there?
And they're like, what?
What was that?
I was just being soft. My doctor made fun of me. He's like, I can barely even fit my whole hand in here.
It's just a tight squeeze. Come on. What are you complaining about?
It was just a few fingers, but we all know how it felt. You all know how it felt.
What did it look like?
A hole in my belly button with my guts coming out.
A hole.
Imagine like a C cut in the top of your belly button, and like this bulbous brain of a comes out of it. It's kind of like that. Nah. It's just like your intestines trying to come out of your stomach lining. It's not a big deal. It's just a muscle tear.
Well, now you got to turn it around, you bet.
All right. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is the plastic surgery belly buttons.
Pull one up big.
I'm trying.
There you go.
Look.
Okay.
See? Yep. That's not a normal belly button.
That's like a goat eye.
That's not
it's like a goat eye.
That's not a normal belly button.
I don't have many physical pet peeves, but that's one of them.
You think the people that have those kind of surgeries feel tattoos the same after that?
Ooh, that's different. It depends on the person, and it depends on the scar, and it depends. I've done, the like covering of the scars in situations where they were incredibly sensitive, and I've worked on people where they were not sensitive at all. So that just kind of varies. I don't know if it's person to person. I don't know if it's physician to physician, but.
How do you feel about working on scars in general?
Oh, I don't have a problem working on scars at all. I like to make sure they're like good and healed though. I feel like that makes a difference to like give the scar time to like settle and rest. Like a year-old scar is different than a 2-month-old scar.
Have you ever had any kind of like scar nightmares?
I mean, I've tattooed over some pretty like tricky burn scars where I had to be like real creative about how to use like the scar tissue as like texture in the tattoo. Nature stuff works really nice for that. Trees are really great for helping camouflage things.
Have you had anybody like, have you ever had a client that just would not heal their tattoo either properly, or they just had like a nightmare healing every single time? Or,
you know what? This brings up a super good conversation that I've been wanting to talk about on the show. So do you ever have clients where you give them super simple aftercare instructions and then they do the exact opposite, or they're like, hey, I got this thing because it made sense to me. And you're like, why would you do that? I never told you to do that. And nobody in the history of ever would have recommended you do that. Why? And then they're like, but now this didn't heal right. This didn't heal right. I need you to fix it. And it's like,
and you're like, well, gee, I wonder.
Well, I gave you instructions on how to like avoid all of these problems. So, okay, here's the conversation that needs to be had. And I feel like I could probably, honestly, we could probably do a whole episode on this.
Lay it out.
So all lotions are not created equal. And I've kind of like talked about this before, but in the beauty care industry, there are a lot of, in my opinion, like conspiracy theories that make women forever customers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to not only give you the cure for what ails you, but it's also the poison that you're going to need to cure tomorrow as well. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? So there are a lot of lotions that have different like hyaluronic acids, and they have other like allergic, like histamine causing components to them. So when you have something like that in a face cream, and then you take said face cream that's filled with hyaluronic acid, which deliberately causes an allergic reaction to make your skin look tighter and more youthful. That's right. It's an allergic reaction that plumps these lips. Not mine, ladies' lips.
Ladies who choose
so
to.
Why would you ever in your right mind take a fresh open tattoo and then put any kind of serum on it that would cause it to have an allergic reaction? Why would you do that?
Or even just something called acid.
Oh, just because it was at the pharmacy and you thought since it was good to put on your face, you could put it on your tattoo?
Was that happening?
Yes. It's actually 2 clients, same brand of lotion. There's this stuff
I was
called
gonna say,
CeraVe.
I've heard this one before.
Yeah, there's this stuff called CeraVe, and it's a face cream. And my own mom actually went against my instructions and used this stuff, and she had the worst heel on her tattoo. A recent client of mine used the same thing, and she's messaging me that at first she was using Hustle Butter, but when she ran out, she switched to this and she started having a reaction. And I was like, you know what, that stuff's got to be junk. So I started doing some homework and I messaged her again, and I'm like, that stuff is absolutely junk. Don't put it on your skin. Here's what it is. Here's what it's designed to do. And here's what the controlled allergic reaction that you're causing on your face has done to your tattoo. Don't use that stuff. Don't use it on your face. Don't use it on your tattoos.
Throw it away.
Yeah. I mean, it's a funny thing in the beauty industry. Like, they sell women serums to make them look youthful. But like I was just saying, these serums cause allergic reactions. So when that allergic reaction that makes your skin look tight and smooth subsides, now you've got skin that's more damaged and more tired than when you started. And now you have to repair that damage as well. But you're going to put a whole nother layer of stuff on it. It's going to cause a whole nother allergic reaction. Do you see the cycle, Kyle?
I do see the cycle. That's why I choose cocoa butter.
Good job. Good choice.
It's never failed me.
I feel like it's really good advice if you look at like skincare as something that you're putting into your body, because you absorb whatever you put onto your skin. So
Okay.
if you look at the back of something and it says not intended for consumption, why would you want to be absorbing that through your skin?
Okay.
You know, like in my opinion, I think the best skincares are the more natural ones, the ones that are just butters that come from earth.
Plants.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Plant butters. I think there are some glides that have like 1 million natural ingredients, and that's fine, but like go with the glides that have like 2 or 3 or 4 ingredients.
Yeah.
Those are usually the best ones. What's that?
The less the better.
Yeah, most of the time. You know, you got to look at the ingredients in a project and think, is it necessary or is it extra?
Right.
If it's extra, well, that could cause an allergic reaction, or you could have,
it's like one extra variable to add to it.
Yeah, it's an extra variable.
It's crazy that we have to like become dermatologists in order to like successfully see a tattoo heal, right?
So, and then to explain to our clients, like in a way that they believe us and take faith that like, no, we have done our homework and we promise we have your best interest in heart.
Do you see my body covered? I've been through it. It's okay.
Tattoo them and open their skin, put something on them for life, but then they won't listen to advice.
When it comes to like the soap and lotion you use,
care of what we just put on them. Sometimes I got clients that, and if one of my clients is here listening to this, I'm sorry, but she was a pretty cool tattoo and we were really excited about it, but then she goes camping immediately after getting tattooed, like with Sanderm on. So it was like in her mind, and it was like not in her mind, it was okay, but it's not okay. She literally was in the dirt, like camping with a fresh tattoo. So, and it was like a week. It was like a weekend or a 3-day music festival. So,
oh, that's even worse.
That's not just camping. That's body filth of everyone else.
So that's actually super good advice that you're touching on. If you have a vacation coming up, schedule your tattoo appointment after the vacation. I know everybody wants to show their tattoos off. Everybody wants to show their tattoos off immediately after they get them, but it's really important for the good quality heel to travel first, tattoo second.
That or dedicate the traveling to the tattoo, and that's the reason.
Well, and then it's different. Like if you're getting tattooed and then you're going to like Miami Beach, that's not a good mix. If you're getting tattooed and then you're going to go kayaking, that's not a good mix. If you're getting tattooed and you're going to go mountain climbing, that's not a good mix. If you're getting a tattoo and you're going to go sunbathing anywhere, it's not a good mix.
So what are you doing this weekend, Ben?
Sunbathing in a mountain after the beach.
That's what we're talking about. I'll see you at the river.
See me at the river. Where we're sunbathing. So look at you trying.
Look at you trying. You suck, but you try.
Use any of those words.
I heard.
He heard your heart speak, Ben.
We're on that level now, it seems.
Are we?
You tell me.
Listen to my heart. Yeah, you guys want to know something sad?
What's sad?
Went to one of your high school reunions this weekend.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah, just at the opportunity to call my ex-wife a bitch.
Well, I mean,
can't you do that online?
No. What fun is that? I want to do it in a room full of people.
Are you going to call her a bitch to her face, or are you just?
No, I'm going to talk about it here
and, like,
and never do anything about it. I just want to be tough. God, Kenny, call me out.
You're tough right now.
I wouldn't go that far. No, it's just it's weird to think about. Like, I legit haven't seen a lot of these people in 20 fucking years.
Do you care to see a lot of those people?
No, but the few that I want to see, it's gonna be fun.
Is it like at like a bar or a restaurant, or is it like a?
Yeah, the specific instructions are this: the bar doesn't have a sign, but drive around back.
And just take a left and then another left.
Are you sure your classmates aren't trying to lock you in a like
do a special knock on the door?
No, a friend of ours is a guy that we graduated with. Is a pretty prominent Columbus Club DJ, and he's having one of his friends open up the bar early for us. So
I have zero plans of going to my high school reunion, and you want
to come to mine? You can come to mine. It'd be fun.
What's your high school reunion? Last Tuesday?
Wait, you mean graduate?
Me. Oh man. Kyle's a baby. He's a baby boy.
Socks older than Kyle. I don't. I raced 22. 23, 24, 25.
I erased like everything before 15.
Smart. Me too.
Since moving, I've erased a bit more. So it's like, all right, fresh start.
Where'd you move from?
Southern California.
Where? Why?
I can afford to live out here on my own.
Sure. Makes sense.
I pay like $900 for rent, and if I were to stay in California, that'd be like sharing a house with 3 to 4 people. Plus, there just wasn't a lot tattoo-wise going on in the town that I was in.
Really?
Yeah. I was like an hour north of LA in like a white suburbia town. So there was like 2 shops, and neither of them were looking to hire anyone on. And it's like I could go to LA, if I wanted to, but that's an hour drive every single day.
Working and living in LA is different.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of. So do you have any plans on going back to California?
When I want work on my arm done, yeah. His name's Dave Barton out of Lucid Tattoo in Camarillo. Yeah. But I mean, besides tattoos and then like to see my best friend every once in a while, not really. No, I didn't have much out there. So fairly easy to just kind of pack everything up and go. And now here we are.
Aw, like a little baby bird.
Shops out here.
No, I've just been hanging out here, working in the warehouse now. So I'm pretty much just here every day.
Soaking it in.
Yep.
Columbus has a really cool tattoo community. It's a little different than most other places. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to get out and meet more people in the industry around here. Watch everything grow.
Is it a tattoo yet?
I mean, it's definitely a tattoo.
Wait, how many chains do you have on those?
I got probably 2 or 3.
Probably
You got like 17.
How many did you take off?
I think we were 2 or 3.
I kind of jewelry store for quite a bit. Still kind of do, but it's not really. It was like an active online store, and we're just kind of doing in-person sales. So, just buy it.
So
Chain gang.
he gets me a fang. I want me a one piece.
Want a custom thing, bro?
You hook that up? Yeah. I'm about to get a fang.
I'll get a gorilla that says Ben Thomas.
That'd be real weird. My church name on me, bro. You did the thing.
And
Oh,
Ben?
man. Just Ben.
Well, what's gonna go on the bottom now?
Only on the bottom.
Only on the bottom. No top text.
No top text.
how you feeling, man?
Like we're getting tattooed, baby. It's all right.
Feels like you need a break.
Do you need a break, Denny? Is that what you're saying?
No, it seems like you need a break.
My weeping?
I think so.
My wiggling?
No wiggles yet. 2 tears falling, but no wiggles.
My body need a break? Is it saying that
Zoom
I'm
in on the
stressed out?
Me.
Kyle wants me to zoom in on your tears,
I
Ben.
was joking.
This is the best.
And there's the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kyle.
We've got the title and now. Yeah.
This is either going to be the best or worst episode by the time we're done.
We have fun, and that's what counts.
Oh, what?
Getting in there with that yellow.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Need more nummies. Actually, this probably still numb because it's kind of like welty over here.
Nah, bro.
It's like that numbing cream welty.
Ain't nothing up.
You know,
He's feeling it all.
spongy skin.
I soak my clients with so much Bactine. It's usually the Bactine bath that is I just feel like it's so soothing and calming that I just deal with it. It doesn't really bother me, but it does add an extra little bit of challenge sometimes.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just noticed the difference in trying to still saturate as much as I can without ripping skin and causing too much trauma, because it does change the skin texture.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be mindful of that.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, do more of that.
That's a spicy hot little spot. I remember that spot too.
Crazy thing is, I don't feel a thing.
smooth.
Like how crisp those reds are,
Mm-hmm.
even on a computer screen.
Yeah, super crisp reds.
Well said.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about getting tattooed is not seeing it until they're done. They kind of like I miss the old like one shots. You know, you sit down, stand up, you got something to put it in. So that's one.
You ever get a tattoo around knowing what you're gonna get?
Absolutely.
We didn't know what we were doing for my back. We didn't know what we were doing for my back until the night before. My geometric Frank Lloyd Wright inspired piece.
You didn't know until the night before?
No, I drove down to Georgia knowing full well that Russ wasn't committed to any solid idea yet. I mean, I had a guest spot lined up, so it wasn't going to be like a wasted trip or anything, but it was one of those like, but we got to
see my back piece more.
Yeah, we got to talking, and later that night, like we had like consultation, talked ideas. I showed him some stuff, he showed me some stuff, and like 8:30 or so that night, he sent me a text with like this rough mock-up, and I was like, yep. I didn't know what I wanted, but that's it.
That looks good.
That's the one. So, but it wasn't like, I don't know. It wasn't like blind. It was just night before. Yes or no?
That's fine though. I mean, it's for a back piece.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it was Russ, so like all the trust in the world.
What'd you get, Ben? What do you mean? Did you get a blind tattoo? Did you ever get like a grab bag blind tattoo?
I definitely had gone and not knowing we were getting fixed up while we were there. Like knowing we were going to do like a Sailor Jerry piece or something like that, just knowing which one, seeing what fits the area the best. Actually, I think my lovely neighbor tattoo was kind of a like, what fits that spot?
I remember that tattoo. I was there for that.
Still one of my favorites. Yeah, I'd only given a loose idea for my back. I'd only given a loose idea for my leg. I hadn't seen anything. For that larger scale, it was really cool to walk in and be like, oh, that's the idea.
Now, would you do it again or do it all over again? Would you do it all over again?
Exactly the same way.
What about you, Fawn? Would you do your back over again like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we came to just the right idea. One of the things with Russ, when we were emailing back and forth, I sent him like a whole bunch of reference photos and stuff. And they were just like, it like the way I was thinking, it was like, these are like inspiration. These are what I like. These are like, you know, the things that he's designed that kind of pull my trigger. And Russ took it as I wanted one of those things exactly as they were. And I was like, oh, no, these are just what I like. And like, if you were to take these and like combine them or pick and choose or draw something based off of one of these. And he was like, oh, like, it was like,
that changes everything.
Yeah. And then he was like, have you been to the Biltmore? And I was like, yeah, you know, I have. And he was like, all right. So he went home and started kind of mocking up based on some photographs that he had taken out there. He started mocking up the first draft of my back. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to go from like unsure of the whole thing to like, well, that's it. That's exactly what I didn't know I needed.
I think there was a tattoo on my body that I got and I knew what I was going to get before I got it. I think even when I was sleeping, my hands, everything was like the day of. Showed up and it's like, this is what we're doing. Every one of them. Even like I went and got tattooed by Bunny and it'd be the same thing. I asked for a Hanya mask and show up and get a tiger.
I guess my last tattoo was kind of like that. I didn't know I was getting tattooed, and then it was at Hell City, and I showed up to Bruno's booth, and he's like, "Do you like this design?" I was like, "Yeah, that's really sick." He's like, "Do you want it?" I was like, "Oh, yeah." And then he hooked it up, and I was like, "Sure, let's fucking go for it."
Sometimes it works out better that way.
Yeah.
It always depends on the artist, but sometimes you can get a really cool, like, random grab bag tattoo and just like blow your socks off with what the artist comes up with when you give him free reign.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I need a little direction.
That's why I think like the best way to go about it is just have like a loose general idea to come in with, and then just kind of bounce off back and forth between you and the artist.
It's always sometimes like I get some clients that they'll say they'll give you free reign, and then you draw whatever, and then that's when the direction comes out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that it's easier to ask clients what they don't like than to ask them what they do like. Sometimes it's easier to like pull their ideas out backwards.
Right. Reverse engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because otherwise you'll be going and it's like, no, I don't like that or that or that.
Honestly, I think sometimes people are just more honest, and it's easier for people to share something they don't like rather than something that they do like. Sure. So like sometimes I'll just throw some absurd options out there and they'll be like, well, no, not that. It's like, okay, well, tell me what you don't like then. Yeah. Tell me what, what style of tattoo don't you like? Oh, you don't like black work. Okay, well, we won't do black work.
Right.
Oh, you don't like trash polka. Okay, we won't do that.
Are there any styles that you won't do? Like, if somebody was like, hey, I know that you don't really do this, but I really trust you and I want you to do this. Would you consider it, or is there something that you shouldn't do?
I mean, for so much of my career, if somebody came like out of left field with something, I'd do it just for the sake of like challenge accepted. I don't know. I mean, I've done so many different crazy things. I've done some pretty heavy black on a friend of mine's face, but like I was also covering up a bunch of stuff that somebody else already messed up. So it was like, I mean, yeah, Tom, we'll do giant black tribal on your face. No problem.
Was it a good tribal?
I mean, it's like Maori tribal, but like bolder and fatter because we had to hide some failed attempt at Maori tribal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to say no, I wouldn't tattoo something because like every circumstance is different. Like there are some tattoos that I've done that are totally out of my wheelhouse, but like let's say it's somebody who I've tattooed their whole family, or I don't know, I guess there's just exceptions, and I don't necessarily know that I have any hard no's other than like if somebody comes to me for like big beautiful scripty bold stuff, I'm gonna be like, did you email the wrong person? Because Cam's way better at that than me. So like outside of that, where it's like I personally know somebody who's like way in the same city or in the same building that is what you're looking for. Go to them. But like outside of that, I don't think there's anything necessarily that I wouldn't do.
Like trendy style requests and anything, or have you pretty much found the niche that you're in now? Or
a lot of my new stuff is pretty psychedelic or surreal or like landscape stuff. So
very bright.
Yeah, I've got a gatekeeper that's kind of filtering stuff for me. So that makes it pretty nice. Like she's got the list of the things that I'm looking to do more of. But you know, there's always I guess on my contact form, I've got a spot where one of the questions is, why do you want to be worked on by Fawn? Like there's all of these, like, what do you want? Tell me about it. What, you know, all of those things. But I think one of the things that's important is why. Like, why do you want me to do it? Like, do you just want to get tatted and somebody gave you my name and you didn't do any homework, but you're wasting both of our time? Yeah. Or like you like have an actual sentimental reason that I'm the person you want to do this piece for, because that might change things, you know, like
Yeah.
Plus, you get to ask that, or when you ask that, you get to figure out like what they value in the transactions. So
kind of like what their intent is.
Yeah, like sometimes they don't actually they value getting tattooed, but not necessarily by you. You know what I mean? So like asking them why do you want to get tattooed? They'll answer that for you with like, I just want to get tattooed.
It's like, oh, okay, well, I can send you to one of the other 100 shops in Columbus if you just want to get tatted.
Yeah,
no problem. Yeah, as the demands on my time become greater, it makes me want to be more careful about what projects I spend that time on. And it's just one of those things where I only have so many hours in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year. So what am I going to do with those hours? You know, am I going to do the same thing that all these other artists are doing? Because there's all these other artists that can do that. Or do I want to do something different that nobody's doing or that very few people are doing? I'd rather be in that niche of this is kind of uncharted territory. That's what I would like to do. If it's something you can get anywhere, then go anywhere to get it. And that sounds kind of cold to say, but that's the whole point of having this show. Like if you have a trite idea, like think on it a little more.
I mean,
like,
you know, if you have 300 some people a month trying to contact you about a tattoo, you can be a little picky.
I don't think it's that many yet, Kyle, but wishful thinking. I'd have a heart attack if that many people hit me up.
How do you feel about glitter tattoos?
Yeah, I have been having so many people ask me about this, and I actually have to like zoom in on my phone and be like, it's not really glitter, it's dots. It's properly placed dots of purple, blue, pink, white, and yellow. Like it's dots. It's just so hard. Yeah, it's so hard. They're like, but how does it shimmer? It's like, it's dots. It's like dots of color that have been in. It's so hard to explain to somebody what like I can clearly see with my eyes, but they don't clearly see with their eyes, and we're looking at the same picture.
Well, it's like if you take a picture of glitter too, you know, it's like a bunch of like circles or hexagons. So it's the same concept, but in a tattoo.
Yep.
How do you feel about doing them?
I mean, let's rewind about 9 years. I experimented with a whole bunch of colored stipple tattoos back then. So for me, it's like, oh, it just went viral. That's cute.
After I was already doing it.
Yeah, like, oh, I already did that.
Been there, done that.
I really like my stippled work. As a matter of fact, the majority of the time when I'm using whites, I still stipple it in just because of those same tricks that I learned from making things look shimmery that weren't shimmery. The same trick when I tattoo water too. Like if I actually have like light bouncing off the water, it's the same tricks of just like properly placed dots.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it is funny when you see, do you remember a few years ago when there was that picture of the tattoo on a tongue that everybody was like, I want a tongue tattoo. And I'm like, that's Photoshopped. That's not a real tongue tattoo. They're like, no, it is. I saw it in a picture. And they pull up the same exact picture that I saw 1,000
and they
times.
pull up the Photoshop.
And I'm like,
picture.
no, that is a tongue that somebody Photoshopped. And then when I'd find a high enough resolution that I could zoom in and they could see where the picture was stitched together, that allowed me to make them believers of what I was saying.
Oh, bro, there's people that will. I've seen it.
I got you.
Real video.
I wouldn't mind touching up the inside of a little.
Dude, there's so many cringy now. Like, I don't know if it's for likes or what they're doing it for, but there's like abusive tattooing now. It's like, I don't know if it's just a spectacle or what it is, if it's just for video views, but they're tattooing like barbarians and tattooing and spitting on it. It's wild. So
I get into the Brutal Black Project. I'll watch their videos, but at first it makes you uncomfortable, but I think they edit that stuff to make it look a little worse than it really is, because their stuff heals beautifully. Yeah. You know, if it's healing and it's velvety and it's smooth black, and that lets you know, like, yes, they're being relentless. They're like holding these people down and they're tattooing them and they're doing the things, but they're actually doing it in a way that it's going to heal nicely. And you can't do that if you're actually being a barbarian. You know what I mean?
It just looks intense because they go and they look that all black and they got that 123.
Yeah, it's intense. But are they actually like brutalizing the skin? No, they want it to heal and look nice because their name is on it. And it does look nice when it heals. But the stuff Denny's talking about where people are just like disrespecting one another.
The ability or the capability of tattooing professionally, but they're not professional by any means. But they can tattoo professionally, they just don't. And they're spitting on tattoos or tattooing people with just the machine swinging. You know, it's like there's no control, there's no operator, it's just swinging.
I saw one that Jess was showing me the other day where the dude's trying to tattoo with 2 machines at once. And it's like, cool. Where are you stretching the skin though? So it actually goes in.
We're gonna call it, bro. We're calling it, bro. Hey, bro.
We're calling it.
Is that it?
Do you guys think you should relocate to the other area and have a smoke to wrap up, and then we can come back up and clean up? Yeah, cool.
Sounds like a plan.
Cool.
Let me wash you down. And
you want to run down there?
I will head down there.
Okay. You run down, get that going, and we'll come and meet you.
Okay. This month I'll see how it settles and see if I need to do once over is. That's usually how it is at Red. I'll grab the baby. This stuff's good.
I love how the gold leaves look next to that yellow and teal rose that Corey did. That was a really nice choice.
Playing around different color options. And this is less complementary colors that were next to the other stuff that I haven't known. Nice. I keep forgetting this microphone light up.
How you feel, Ben?
Excuse me.
How much did that numbing cream help out, Ben?
Oh, we got Kyle down there. All right, we'll be down in just a moment.
All right. While we wait for everyone to join us, let me go ahead and shout out our sponsors and affiliates that we have here on Reinventing the Tattoo. So, thank you to Raw Pigments. Thank you to Tattoo Now, World Tattoo Events, DLI's Pro, and then, of course, our associates with Jacob the Fireside Network and the Apprenticeship Diaries. And, of course, Guy Hutchison for founding the whole network. As we're joined by everyone else now. Sponsored by where you can meet that folks from. That's pretty good. Then feeling all beat up. Then he's looking proud of himself. Years love that he chose that yellow, that gold yellow next to the yellow turquoise rose that Corey did. It's a different yellow, but they're so complementary. Yeah, be proud, Ben. Be proud. Beautiful. Be beautiful.
No. This is bigger.
How you feeling?
I'm just kidding. No, it was fine. It really wasn't that bad. Just, the longer it takes, the longer the numbing cream is wearing off. And not that it's bad to get tattooed, it's just you feel it more. No, it was real bad. Then he's not super heavy-handed in any way. He's always pretty gentle.
It's fast. Watching this, you want not fast as I'm rushing, but fast as I'm efficient. And it's not bottle. The black and gray, was it raised?
I went real fast.
Marty's a wizard.
I was watching it in the line. It's gonna be bloody and weepy for a minute.
Yeah, just let that weep. That's why I sat back. Yeah. That's why we back.
Lean back.
Lean back.
Got a little bit of the weep.
Yeah, I believe a little.
So it's been 5
Probably was
years.
a 40 I pounded before I got here.
Yeah.
So it's been 5 years. You finally got more roses.
Yeah, it's nice.
How you feel then?
I always knew it was gonna happen. It's never a matter of if, it's just when.
Sure. What are you gonna get out of that?
Probably get another tattoo. So somewhere in the near future. Actually, this is probably the last one. So after the convention, we got a nice little round of conventions coming up. We've got Akron next weekend and Indy a couple weekends after that. I was thinking about going to Houston.
Talking about Fort Wayne?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fort Wayne. Sorry, wrong Indiana. My bad.
Like, I used to go there.
Probably. And then El City in Phoenix.
So you're saying we're going to be in a lot of tattoo competitions.
Oh no! What I was saying was there's about to be a pretty big travel schedule.
But in that travel schedule.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. A few competitions.
I was told that I must participate in the competitions in Akron this weekend. So. Thanks, bud.
Well, what am I
Everything.
Everything?
All of them.
Hey, I tried that and I understand the next day.
Don't.
You'll have that sometimes. When Jay shows up, everybody just like.
Everyone.
But you know what?
You just high five them and leave. Just hope for a second,
It's funny. Everybody's going to be there. And it's only been, how long ago was it? Not
that long. It's very rare that the whole crew's there without a job.
I feel like it's going to be less rare to have the whole crew there. But I mean, we still have like podcast responsibilities, but it's not like running Hell City where we all have responsibilities or like we all have multiple responsibilities.
I've never really made a commitment to trying to make it to shows. And to me, I saw enough of them having to be at them working them, and that was enough. But meeting all these people through podcasts and really starting to get a connection with the community has really changed my viewpoint on what these shows can and can't be. I'm a nobody. I'm a collector. I'm just here to hang out and talk shit. So to be immersed in a culture that I shouldn't be, for lack of a better term, and kind of have the inside scoop on all that's really, really humbling and really cool. So now to be able to focus on kind of expanding those relationships and kind of getting to see a little bit more of the inside and how other people do it's really, really interesting to me. And I don't know, it's starting to be a lot of fun.
I gotta correct you, Ben.
What?
It's just one of my pet peeves.
What I did?
You said I was just a collector.
I collect tattoos.
Ben, without rockstar collectors, we wouldn't have rockstar tattooers.
Fair bet.
It's an important part of the equation.
Fair bet.
It's a super important part of the equation, and we, as a community, I don't think we put enough weight into how important collectors are.
And a tattooer once explained to me that the importance of heavy collectors going to these competitions is to support your artist. It's you go get these comps because it's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with showing off your artist's work, and it's being proud of them and what they've done. You earn it. You sit there, you take it. And after that, it's not about you anymore. It's about your artist. So go stand up on the stage and show off your shit.
Yep. And it's fun. As a collector, I love standing on stage with other collectors. Like I almost like it more when people don't necessarily recognize me as a tattooer because I like to just admire one another's collections. You know what I mean? Like we can be catty, we can be competitive about it, we can be uppity and snobby, or we can be like, that's an amazing piece. Who did that? I love it. I know that hurt. I know you sat for some stuff. I know you've seen some of the same things I have. Like, you can be competitive, or you can be like, these are my brothers and sisters standing up here.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Well, my favorite thing is watching other people trying to figure out where they know me from and where I tattoo at. You're that guy from that one place you tattoo. Nope.
I would get that when I go to local shows. It's like, you in a band? You look like you're in a band. It's like, no, I'm just here to have a good time.
I worked at a rock club, so people that were used to seeing bands saw me all the time. So, what band are you in? I'm not. I work the fucking door.
All of them. I'm in all the bands.
I do the dooring for all of them.
The dooring.
Yeah, it's weird. Kind of making sure this is not a tattoo.
And that could be a good shirt to have.
We're not allowed just
to sell. Yeah, to like not a tattooer.
Well, when I was at bar, I was security bar back, so my shirt said not a fucking bartender. Escorted from the building. I got you. That's the only two things they let me do here. So yeah, maybe not a tattoo or should be shirts.
Yeah, I think so.
You can't wear one for fun.
I can't.
I'm
left out. I have to get one that says tattooer.
So cocky.
Yeah. It could be like not. Maybe cross out the not up. No, it loses its spark. It loses its spark.
You just killed my brand.
Killed the luster. Sorry, Ben.
You know why you can't buy
This will bring it back.
You just have to wear a regular shirt.
Then
Yes, ma'am.
why can't you buy Burberry at a discount store?
Brand recognition. If you want to keep a high mark. If you want to keep something exclusive, don't give it away.
So you mean all the times that I look at other tattooers who may be frustrated and they're, trying to market themselves and they say things like, open chair, come get tatted,
No,
$70 special.
enjoy your free time, my friend. Nothing says come get tattooed like a slow tattoo. It's like when you call a contractor and he's sitting around, okay? If you call the first person to do a kitchen remodel and he's like, hey, I got jack shit going on, what's up? He's not your contractor. He sucks at his job.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
When people aren't busy?
Yes.
Sometimes
that's your job. Sometimes your job is to sit at the shop and take walk-ins. It's a different ballgame. You selected that time to handle people coming through the door.
this is where I come in. There's definitely a difference between a generalist and a specialist. And typically, if you're a very busy specialist, you're probably on your way to being a specialist. You're probably not actually a specialist just yet, because chances are you don't have that many specialized projects that you can focus on. So as a generalist, you're going to have way more tattoos, way busier schedule. So it's not always the case where less busy means less good or the quality is going to be shit. Because typically, there's a lot of well-positioned tattooers out there that there's actually droves of those, communities of them, well-positioned tattooers that don't tattoo as nearly as much as the average generalist tattooer. But they are way more flexible in their scheduling, way more flexible in their convenience, but they are, they're exceptional. So there's levels to this for sure.
The point that I was trying to make, you are right. I don't disagree with what you're saying. The point that I was trying to make is people that sell themselves short and they try to because they have an empty chair, they need to get somebody in right away. They're basically selling their work as if they're at a garage sale,
right?
Rather than saying something like, last minute cancellation, my last spot for the season, hit me up. X amount an hour, instead of offering a discount to rush and get somebody in.
I feel like
that was the point that I was making, was
right.
If you sell yourself short, then your audience sees that and your potential collectors see that and they know that if he puts himself on clearance, he's going to put himself on clearance again. So
I'll wait.
I'll wait till next time. And that's what you build. That's what you don't want to build. People are like, I'll wait till he's on clearance again.
Yeah, I also think it's necessary to look at why the artist is discounting their tattoos, and not just that they're discounting their tattoos. Sometimes ask yourself why, because a lot of times it's just because they're generalist tattooers and they don't necessarily have a specialty. They haven't narrowed their focus, so they have books open and then books closed, books open, books closed. But it's really just because they're discounting their tattoos so that they can fill the books with anything that will pay the bills. So it's not necessarily. It's something to examine why, like why are they discounting it and why are they discounting it so low, and essentially, yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people who are going to wait for that next discount because it's going to happen because they realize that if you do it once, you're going to do it again. And it's usually patternistic, but why, why are we experiencing some tattooers that literally give tattoos away for $20, $30? And then why do we see tattooers that are still very much flexible in their scheduling, but they're charging extreme amounts of money and still getting booked? So it's like, why is there a difference between some tattooers that actually have skills to pay the bills, but they're still discounting tattoos? Is it a level of insecurity? Are they like positioned in a shop where they have to pay? It's like there's like a deficit where they have to like hit a quota or something. Like why are they discounting the tattoos? And like, what are they discounting the tattoos on? Like, are they discounting size? Are they discounting quality? Is it just the price? Is it because they had an open spot and you're filling a convenience? Why is it discounted? So I think it's important to examine that.
I can't think of a good reason that an artist should discount their work. Sometimes if I'm trying something that's incredibly experimental, there might be a discount on that, or it might be one of those situations where like I know this is gonna work, but I don't know how many sessions it's gonna take. Let's just do this much a session, and when it's done, it's done.
Sure.
But I don't feel like that's the same as a discount.
Yeah, that's not a discount.
This is a extenuating circumstance, and this is our agreed upon price.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like outside, and most of the time, those situations are something that I'm so close and comfortable with that it's kind of like a homie hookup.
Right.
Like a discount.
A deal and a discount, I think, are a little different.
Yeah.
How do you feel about we discount their tattoos based off of the projects that they want to do? Like if say they're taking in a lot of general projects, but they're also like, here's something that I really would like to do. Here's a discount price on that.
I think this is actually a mistake that a lot of people make, and I've done it myself because like I just wanted to pull something in of a specific style to try it. But if it's something that you're excited about and it's something that is your favorite thing to do and it's something that you want to do more of, that is the last thing you should discount. That's the very last thing you should discount.
Yeah.
That's I can't.
Explain that all the way.
It devalues the thing that you think is the most important and special. If it's the thing you're the most excited about, that should be the last thing you discount. And like I said, if it's super experimental, make that on somebody you care about so that like if it is a discount, it's a kind of a gift too. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference between like working on a sibling or a super close friend or something like that. Like those people that can actually like return favors and like I just feel like it's really important to not take the thing that you want to make a living doing, and that's the thing you give away for free. You work, you break your back, you do all these things you don't enjoy doing, and then you discount the thing that you would rather do more of. It's like being given like the best job in the world and being like, you know what? That's cool, and I'm glad I worked hard for this, and I'm glad I probably deserve what you're going to pay me for it. But you know what? I'll take 25%.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Do that to yourself in any other job. If somebody were to come up to you and they were like, Kyle, I want to buy your car. It's a nice car. And you're like, I don't know, I really like this car a lot. Like I only have the one, and I like it a lot. But they were like, but I really like it. And you'd be like, you know what, I'll sell it to you at a discount.
Right.
No, it's
The only time I would ever explore discounts, or even like the word discount, is when I'm considering multiple projects or multiple sessions wrapped into one project. So this way it's more valuable to the client. And it is a discount. It really is a discount, but it's not a discount available to everyone. It's right. It's a specific dialed in valuable discount directly for one of my clients that after having a conversation with them, I find what is valuable to them. But that is really where the discount would start. I would not offer a discount to a stranger who's never spent any money with me, who's never added value to my business or my page or anything, and then just, give them the discount, where there's people who spend real money who get consistent tattoos who would appreciate a discount a little bit more in the terms of what a discount really would mean in value sense. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, examine why a tattooer is giving out a discount to the public, to the general public. It's probably because they haven't built relationships or projects that need the discount. Like, I have sleeves that are in the works, and it's hard to charge for one tattoo. You can pretty much charge, a specialty piece. You can charge whatever, but when it comes to an array of specialty pieces in a collaboration of like a sleeve or a back piece, it's really hard to charge significant amounts of money when you want consistent work. It's really hard to do that unless the client and you are on that level. It's very hard to continuously get that retention. So I found that it's a lot easier to discount tattoos and sessions with a recurring client rather than just a stranger. But you really have to have a narrow focus to do that. You have to have a larger project. You have to have somebody who's coming in consistently with higher retention rate. So it's interesting to see a tattooer who's willingly giving out deals and discounts to strangers when you can be collectively giving those deals and discounts out to already having stable clients that you already have. So it's just, that's why I feel like there's a difference. There's definitely there's a box of generalist tattooers that are still trying, and they're definitely going to be specialists one day, but then there's specialists and community specialists that see the difference, and they're trying to not necessarily reform the industry, but they're just trying to set a standard for the industry of how it should be done. And I feel like that's where we can kind of see the difference in professionalism and not so professional.
So here's a conundrum. So I have a client, and this is my client. We have every time I see you, this is your session. So I've got a lot of clients. So this will be our price because I've learned,
Right. Right.
So his partner, and they've been together forever, but his partner is now collecting 50s. So what you're going to do is there, charge differently. That's same household, same pocket, in the moment.
Sure.
All the same things.
I think that's a difference between, I think that comes with experience. I don't think that's like a instinctual reaction. I think that's something that is learned over time, it's nurtured. Whereas somebody who doesn't have that longevity, or somebody who hasn't tattooed clients, especially reoccurring clients and returning clients, somebody who hasn't done very many of those, who works maybe in a street shop environment or boardwalk shop environment, they typically don't nurture that instinct to want to nurture a long-term relationship, to think about the moral aspect of well, they're partners, they have confected into this emotional investment of this project. He shows up to all these projects, he's here, So why wouldn't I? But it's also valuable to not only his partner, but it's also valuable to your other client, you know what I mean? Because not only do they feel like they haven't been taken advantage of, or one feels like, hey, I got a cheaper tattoo. Maybe that's why my tattoo doesn't look the same, or maybe that's why it didn't take as long, or maybe that's why it took longer, you know, and it doesn't raise a suspicion. It doesn't cause resentment. I think that's like a nurtured response that it takes experience and a level of specialty and expertise to be able to pull that off. Not every tattooer is going to think like that. A lot of generalist tattooers will to really kind of just take the money and run, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, with the one guy, I've already done the majority of his back, both sleeves, the lower of both of his legs and the upper of one. So, like, I mean, he's got work.
Right.
And, like I said, his partner's come along for years. He's been coming to the sessions, hanging out, watching, and, you know, all along, he's been like, one day. So, like, it's one of those, like,
you've been in since day one.
Yeah,
right. You're not new to this.
Yeah, but like it's jumping into a back piece, so it's not something little. It's like, again, another thing where we're gonna be seeing each other monthly.
Right. And think about how valuable that is that you kept the price for them, that they are gonna, like, you're their dude now. You know what I mean? So like now anybody that passes through them in their lifetime, it's like, where did you get your amazing back piece from? Is like you ain't going anywhere else with it. You know, and that's like so valuable to a specialist, because when you have a body of work like that, when you have a presence out there, you need to actually, it needs to stay relevant, one, in order to, you know, keep your lights on. But it's also like you want to keep specialized projects coming in, and the only way to do that is really by word of mouth and other people telling other people about how their experience went. So if they value their experience and they don't just see it as like a regular tattoo, like it's just a run-of-the-mill, overcharged, undervalued tattoo, then they're really gonna value the experience, and they're gonna dedicate their whole life and everything that they do tattoo-wise to you. So I think that's a special tactic, but I think that's a nurtured, like I said, that's not something that everyone thinks about. So I think that's really special that you do. And, you know, that's unique. So it's really, I mean, everyone's like, that's like, I see a lot of specialists, and that's a very eclectic mindset to think about the longevity of the client. You know, a lot of artists should start thinking in long terms rather than short-term money. And I feel like once we start to think like that, that's really when you start to dial it in, and your art starts to show more. Then you start to control the art more than let the client control and dictate the flow of the art. And that's really important too. So
I think that's why I prefer doing large scale work the way that I do. It's just because it allows me to build that relationship. And then every day, I like have a different client every day, but 90% of the time, that's a client that I've seen monthly. And then we have a rapport, we know what to expect, like we know one another's stories and families, and and it's much easier to like look at my schedule and just have these monthly obligations that we all have to each other. It's so much less wishy-washy, and like when things shift and move, I know it's just like postponed a couple of weeks. It's not a flake out.
Right.
That's probably the thing I love the most about the big work, is that not just the consistency, but that relationship with my collectors. Like, I think honestly, that's probably what got me busy and got my books full before my work could. You know what I mean? It was the relationships I built. Like, my work wasn't necessarily good enough to speak for itself. That was the way I connected with people. That
right.
What got me.
I was talking about this recently, that a lot of the times I've noticed that a lot of people, quality isn't really an issue for them. Like, they already expect quality from a lot of artists, and mainly, especially with me, but they expect quality. So it's not ever like talked about. It's never really discussed. It's never reviewed. It's never like, it's rarely, I should say rarely. It's rarely like the quality is amazing. You know, the amazing tattoo. It's usually like the shop was cool, great vibes, conversation. You know, clean shop. It's usually those kind of reviews that you get. And a lot of people that do talk about tattoos, they don't really talk about quality. They just kind of show it off, and talk about like how the vibe went, how they felt. You know, and I think that's really important to people too, it's not always about just how dope you are as an artist. It's really like, how do you treat your client and how does that client feel after they left? If they just felt like a piece of meat that just got a really cool tattoo, but there's no connection, there's no relationship, there's no vibe, they're probably more likely to shop somewhere else, you know, and they're probably not going to come back. So there's like value to actually building relationships and thinking in the long term with your client and trying to look for to see their vision and to actually like expand with them and grow with their vision is really important. And I think a lot of people kind of allude from that. And that's dangerous to a career.
Yeah, I feel like we could probably dive into another 2 or 3 hours just talking about this. Yeah. But it's after 9.
Let's do it.
Until 3 hours. Whoa! So we had a few hiccups with some new equipment, split setup today, starting out. But I think I can get all worked out.
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
This is like a dual hybrid setup. Is what this is. It's not just hybrid. It's dual. It's hybrid.
You guys killed it. Thank you.
Next time we'll feel even better. Yeah, you did the hard part today. We just like moved cables around.
Good work.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us, Danny. Thanks for taking time to come. I hope we're accommodating the role of electronics.
That was great.
Making space.
Oh, yeah.
I know we already did.
Yeah.
These ended our
Yeah.
Do you have any tags or places people can find you?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram at Denny Michaels and at Nobility Tattoos. And on Facebook, Denny Michaels. Yeah, check me out. I think it's Expo.
Okay, next Thursday. We'll see you
later.
Let's go clean up. There you go.
Oh, shit.